Perfect. You made that point, and you were right. That time, the timing was slightly off, so instead of touching the ball, you kind of touch some skin, and that's a foul.
Well, Clark with 10 points goes to the free throw line.
He's been quiet, though. You know, they kind of kept him under wraps.
Hits the first free throw, he'll get the second one.
He's also the kind of player that can bang 10 points in, you know, a 3-minute span, so got to watch him. This game is not, I told you guys, this game was not over.
74% free throw shooter. Second free throw attempt, and he hits that one. So now it's 61-53. Full court pressure on the part of Seton Hall. In the backcourt, this is Dylan Mitchell, and he is checked by Mike Williams Jr. Mitchell into the front court, and he is fouled by Williams, who is he's very surprised by that, but I think there definitely was contact.
There was, no question. That's the right call. Seton Hall enjoyed a 17-6 run here, by the way, over the last 4 minutes and 40 seconds. Yeah, absolutely a foul there as Hines and Williams ran right into him. But I'll tell you what, if you see Hall, that's the guy that you want to foul. He is not a good free throw shooter, Dylan Mitchell.
No. Here's the first free throw attempt and a double bonus, and he misses that one. And Mitchell will go to the line for the second one.
I wouldn't be surprised if they start to deploy. I mean, I might do this if I was Seton Hall. A little hack of Mitchell down the stretch here.
He drains the second free throw, so it's 62-53. Slowly into the front court comes Bud Clark. The St. John's crowd getting a little bit restless here. Here's Mike Williams, right side quarter court. Top of the key to Clark. Clark now moves to the left side, all the way to the hoop. Block shot by Zuby, goes out of bounds.
Yeah, that's like taking candy from a baby. Zuby on the trail, on the strong side, and just coming in and just saying, okay, I'm going to just time this to perfection. And the swat for Zuby.
A total rejection there by Ejiofor. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Seton Hall basketball out of bounds. Clark about to get the ball from John Gaffney. Backs up. Mitchell gives him space. Bounce pass, baseline. Staten McCray for three. Good. And now it is 62-56.
And to me, the way that last year sounded from Seton Hall, to me, that's what a pick by Zuby, my goodness. To me, that sounds like the first time Seton Hall fans think that they could actually steal this. That was a different kind of roar.
Dylan Mitchell to Dylan Darling now. 4 minutes and 18 seconds to play here in the second half. 10 seconds on the shot clock. St. John's ahead 62-56. Here is Sandin now. Top of the key. Will he go for three? 2 seconds now. Entry pass goes to Zuby, and he drops it in as he beats the clock, and the Red Storm ahead 64-56.
Oh, boy, just beating that Zuby. A little finger roll right there. I thought Sandin probably should have shot that. They may have been bailed out. He can't turn down open looks.
That's now 20 points for Ejiofor. Mike Williams, who has double figures in 10. Checked by Sandin on the perimeter. 3:45 to play. Down the baseline, his runner, entry pass goes to Dar, lays it short. Rebound into the hands of Staten McCray for three. He misses that from the near corner. Rebound, Darling.
That's a huge miss right there. I mean, that would have made it a 2-possession game. Instead, the rebound, St. John's can set up the offense here, try to stabilize this.
Darling goes topside to Mitchell. Left wing pass goes to Hopkins to Sandin. Sandin, two-hand pass on the wing to Dylan Darling. Throws the ball to Sandin. Three on the right. I thought it was foul there.
Got fouled, yes. Yes.
And Sandin will go to the free throw line for three. I think it's on Dar. Yep. Dar's second personal foul. Timeout on the floor. We'll take a break as well. 3:31 to play second half. St. John's 64, Seton Hall 56. We're back to the Garden in a moment. You're listening to Red Storm basketball from Learfield.
Hey everyone, David Kahn here. It's time to play ball. The 2026 season is upon us, and the best way to get in the game is by listening to College Sports Now's official baseball podcast, Dugouts, Dumbbells, and Dingers. Each week, we'll have exclusive interviews with players and coaches that take you inside the locker room as we unpack the top stories of teams all across the country. We're delivering our best fastball, so step into the batter's box and tee us up. Available wherever you podcast on the College Sports Now feed or on YouTube. Just search Dugouts, Dumbbells, and Dingers.
Red Storm fans always get the red carpet treatment from Food Bazaar Supermarket. Shop for your groceries from the comfort of home, and right now, get $10 off your order of $50 or more. Plus, your first delivery is free. Go to shop.foodbazaar.com. That's shop.foodbazaar.com and use promo code FANSGET10. Food Bazaar, the official supermarket of St. John's Athletics. And while you're at it, download the Food Bazaar Rewards app. It's fast, easy, and free.
When you're on the move and looking for nonstop college sports action, get the Varsity Network app and take the game with you everywhere. Stream live play-by-play from schools across the country right from your phone, free. Catch hundreds of weekly podcasts, including shows from your favorite teams, all in one place. From football Saturdays to midweek hoops, it's your all-access pass to the college sports world. Whether it's game day or just your daily drive, the Varsity Network app has you covered. Download now and listen live for free on the Varsity Network app.
The final 3 minutes and 31 seconds of the second half as St. John's looks to get into the Big East Championship game for the second straight year. They're in the semis for the third straight year. And right now, Red Storm ahead of the Pirates 64-56 as Walter Berry being shown on the big-time scoreboard here at the Garden.
Yeah, we had a little love from Mark Jackson earlier, and then right next to him is this guy, number 21, Walter Berry, the truth. Yeah, so, that was a big layup there before by Zuby. St. John's has just gotten very scattered. Now, it seems to have been stabilized here a little bit, but there was a point after that three-point make by the Hall where it was looking, I wouldn't say dire. St. John's was still up, but it really seemed like maybe the momentum was shifting and it was going to be a permanent thing. St. John's is now inching toward getting that back, but they're going to have to scrap the loose balls, the rebounds. You get to the line. You're going to get to the line a lot here over these final 3:31. Got to hit them.
Yeah, and Shannon will be the one that will go to the free throw line when we come back. The second semi, and a bit of a surprise because Georgetown defeating Villanova last night. Folks thought that it would be Yukon and the Villanova Wildcats, but no, the Hoyas find their way with a couple of victories into the semifinals.
And good for Georgetown. I mean, it really is. I'm very surprised Villanova didn't win that game, but Georgetown's where St. John's has been or was for so long. So that's not a good place to be, even though they did have that good win. And you never know. I mean, maybe they register some crazy ups. I remember a couple of years ago, Patrick Ewing's team unexpectedly won the Big East Championship, and they were very down that year. That very rarely happens in the Big East. You might get that in some other tournaments or some other schools or conferences, but usually the big dogs are the ones who get to that championship game here in the Big East. And but you never know. There's certain magic, and maybe Georgetown's getting hot.
Shannon hits the first free throw. A couple of more to come. 65-56. He was down, and now it misses the second one. So he's going to try and convert here at the third one, obviously, and make it a double-digit lead once again.
Yeah, you can't be as good a shooter as Shannon is and lead with only 1 out of 3. You got to stick this.
In the eyes, flies, and bounces it in.
There you go.
66-56, St. John's by 10 with 3:25 to play here in the second half. Mike Williams, June the third, just about at the midcourt stripe, looking to the right side. Looking right, comes left to Bud Clark. 12 seconds to shoot. Free throw line. Ball taken away by Shannon as Clark turns it over.
Great hands there by Shannon. Very good.
Into the front court comes Dylan Mitchell. 2-hand pass out top to Dylan Darling. Darling now, acceleration. Backs out high. Loops it to edge of 4. And a foul is called.
Yeah, I mean, it could be the finishing stages of the finishing touches to a win here for St. John's. That's why I said before, if you're able to hit these free throws, and I don't mean make 1 out of 2, but, hit both. I thought Seton Hall was very deliberate on that previous possession. I was surprised they were taking so long to initiate the offense. They don't really have that luxury. So from their point of view, you got to get some shots up a little quicker than they did.
Dylan Darling at the free throw line. And he misses the first free throw. It bounces off the rim and to the far side.
You know, if you're looking for things that worry you about St. John's moving forward this month, it's maybe the outside shooting from the guards, maybe a couple of free throw situations.
There's a second free throw attempt, perfect rotation. He gets that one to fall. St. John's ahead 67-56, 2:54 to play here in the second half. Bud Clark slowly into the front court. Let's see how long Seton Hall takes to get a shot off here. Already 15 seconds on the shot clock. Acceleration down to the baseline. Kick out pass. Staten McCray. And a bounce pass in the middle. Stolen away by Dylan Mitchell.
Well, that was stolen with 10 seconds to go on the 30-second shot clock. So they, to answer your question, it was at least 20 seconds.
And this is Hopkins has the ball taken away, and he's fouled.
I mean, I don't know why they're waiting so long. I get it. You got to initiate things with the drive and kick there, but...
Bryce Hopkins goes to the free throw line for the Red Storm. You figure in the final 2:27, St. John's, is, whoever it might be, is going to see that line quite a bit.
Yep.
Hopkins tonight has 7.7 rebounds and 4 assists. Another good, solid all-around game as he drains the first free throw. Second one is coming here.
I'm really happy you played well against Providence yesterday. You said some classy things after the game, too, about Providence. Took the high road.
Free throw rattles through. 69-56, 2:25 to play. Into the front court comes Bud Clark closely. Clark moves toward the right side, picked up by Darling. Now curls the ball down the middle, throws it up and in. And he got that one to fall, and he's fouled as well. And the foul is called on Darling.
You know, he's going down shooting and swinging.
And he's got 3 fouls, Darling does. So at the line, 69-58. Bud Clark, 14 points in this game.
Make or miss, it's still going to be a 4-possession game favoring St. John's here.
As he completes the 3-point play, makes that one.
Smart. Mitchell's going to take a seat, get a better free throw shooter in there. And Sellers comes back in.
So Hopkins now will inbound it. Sweeps the baseline. Looking. Inbound pass goes to Darling. Darling, two-hand lead pass ahead of the field. Sellers off his foot into the hands of Dar. And here is Bud Clark. Goes quickly, and the ball is knocked out of bounds by St. John's defensively. And the Pirates will have it. Looks like they're picking up tempo here with 2 minutes to go.
Picking up some bench is what Sellers is picking up there. He's got to handle that pass from Sadden, so he came in for Mitchell, and then Mitchell came right back in for him. Rick not happy.
Mitchell doing the jumping back jacks. The inbounds pass comes to Hines. Entry pass gets the ball back and drops it through for 2 on a dunk. And it's 69-61 with 1:56 to play. Here's Hopkins in the front court. Will they foul him? Nope, not yet. Here's Darling.
Ooh.
Darling looking, left side. The edge of 4. The Darling, timeout, Rick Pitino.
Interesting.
So basically, Rick wants to have the discussion. He wants to know exactly what should be done here with 1:41 to play in the second half. The timeout situation is this. Both teams have a full and a 30 available with 1:41. The foul situation, both teams are in the double bonus.
Yeah, now like I said minutes ago, it seems like hours ago, we're going to be here for a while with these free throws. So, yeah, I'm very curious what they draw up out of the timeout here. So, obviously, there's 14 seconds here, so it's a shoot. And if you're Seton, you don't want to foul now. You've already wasted 16 seconds, so they'll play straight-up defense without trying to foul. So, maybe work the high post and get the ball, a little two-man game, Darling and Zuby. Maybe a little foul line extended, try to find a cut. Maybe Dylan Mitchell slash into the hoop or something like that. Or maybe give Zuby the option of reading what's in front of him and trying to hit a teammate on the cut, or maybe take it to the rim himself. But I would have to think Zuby is involved in this play.
There'll be Hopkins that will inbound adjacent to the St. John's bench. The inbounds pass comes to Zuby now with 10 seconds to shoot. Underhand pass to Mitchell. Mitchell with 9, 8, goes to the left side, throws the ball inside the edge forward, 4 seconds to shoot. Ball pocketed away into the hands of Clark. Clark drives and the ball goes out of bounds off of Dylan Darling, who was playing him defensively, and it'll be Pirate basketball.
It's great hustle. I mean, you may have saved a couple of points there if Seton Hall doesn't score here, but you definitely saved a couple of seconds by busting back on defense and forcing Seton Hall now to reset the offense rather than getting the easy fast break bucket. I don't know what happened with Zuby. Zuby's hands Zuby's been a little sloppy inside tonight.
Let's see what Clark does here. Hines is back into the game off the inbounds pass. The ball is knocked out of bounds. It was intended for Dar. Darling is everywhere defensively.
Thank God he got a fingertip on that, because that's a dunk right there. That's a wide open, Dar was breaking to the rim. He was open.
Clark will inbound it again. 1:25 to play. Lobs it inside to State McRae. Mitchell gets the loose ball to Sannon, who's fouled.
Good play. What a play by Mitchell.
Mitchell, a great hustle play.
That is fantastic. I mean, walking the baseline like a tightrope, jumping at the perfect time, and having the awareness and the IQ to actually throw it back to one of his teammates. Wow.
And I think the IQ to get it to the teammates, because that way he doesn't get fouled.
Well, you can look at it that way too. Wouldn't surprise me with Dylan Mitchell. He's a special player. Really, the only thing he can't do is shoot foul shots. Everything else is terrific.
Sannon at the free throw line, misses long.
You got to hit these. See, to me, this is him being tight right here, because I can't prove that, but that's just my opinion. He's a great foul shooter. He's got great mechanics. And now those are 2 of the last 3 free throws he's taken where they've gone really hard and really long off the back rim. So he's just got to loosen up and trust it and go for the front of the cylinder and just put it in with a swish. Got to deposit this.
Second one is good. He's
like
a
that.
76% free throw shooter regular season. Lead pass out of the corner. And they come out high. Dar for 3 on the left. No good. Rebound comes down to edge of 4.
There you go. That should do it, Mink.
Big rebound, big defensive sequence for the Red Storm. They lead it set by 9 with a minute exactly to play and a foul.
Yeah, that's probably just a token foul right there, but, you want to go down swinging. It's 3 possessions. Well, I mean, I shouldn't say that, but if you can hit one of these 2, which you should, now it's a 4-possession game, and just based on the math and the time, probably not enough. So that's a big free throw there by Sannon, bouncing back, and now it's time for Bryce to hit a couple.
Hopkins has 9 points and 7 boards in this game.
72% from the stripe on the season.
Solid game last night as he bounces the first free throw in. He had 14 points and 13 rebounds against the Friars.
And St. John's a very healthy 76% from the free throw line so far tonight. It's a good number in college.
Here's Hopkins at the free throw line for the second one. And once again, it's a double-digit lead, 72-61 now, with 1:03 to play. Clark looks like he's in no hurry. Brings it across, comes near side, checked by Darling. Clark shoots the 3, no good. Tap no good. Battle for the loose ball. Dar follows it up and in with 47.3, and timeout called by Shaheen Holloway. So 47.3. St. John's with the 72-63 lead and just 47.3 away from playing for a second straight Big East basketball tournament championship.
Times be changing, huh, Mink? Times be changing a little bit. It is everything that we craved. It is everything that we used to be used to. So now it's also, this one's not over, but, if you could get this, and here's the advantage now. If St. John's could hang on and hit free throws and bag this one with 47.3 to go, you're up 9. It should be a wrap. You do your job. Well, now, all right, what is it? What time we got here? It's about 10 to 8. You go and do the media, you take a shower, you get back to the hotel, you do a little stretching, a little post-game stuff, you eat, you relax, whereas Yukon and Georgetown are battling probably closer to midnight when their night's all said and done. So it's a little advantage, but everything helps.
Here's Hopkins, inbounds it to Zuby. Bryce Hopkins in the backcourt. Hopkins is way from Rivera, and he is finally fouled by Dar. So 41.9. St. John's crowd now seem pretty darn confident.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a very different energy in here tomorrow night. Very. Now, listen, the flow of the game is going to dictate the response from the crowd, but it was pretty tame most of the night. I don't even blame him. There wasn't a ton to cheer for.
Hopkins hits the first free throw. Sometimes it's the personality of the game. You know, St. John's with the 70 points, and you know, it was 38-30 at the half.
Yep. And then St. John's came out flying in the second half, but then
that's when the game was won.
Yep, and you got to give Seton Hall credit. They punched back, and I wasn't surprised that they did, but eventually probably coming up a bit short.
Makes that free throw, 74-63, 38 seconds to play. There's Williams for three, no good short, and a rebound into the hands of Sannon.
Oh,
Sannon is hit by Dar, I believe. Nope, let's see who they get. That might be on Rivera. Yep, that would be personal foul number 5 on Josh Rivera.
That's probably an unnecessary foul right there.
So Josan Sannon will go to the free throw line. He's got 13 points. He had 10 of the 13 in the first half on a trio of threes and a free throw.
He's played well, and I love that he's on the court here. Money time. That builds confidence. You get more chemistry.
As he hits the first free throw.
With Okafor and Mitchell and Darling and the other players who will be closing games out for this team. Get him familiar with them.
Here's the second free throw attempt by Sannon.
There you go.
It's good as well.
Very nice. Pure.
76-63. 29 seconds to play, second half. Inside pass to Dar, and he is fouled, but he lays it up anyway and will go to the free throw line. I think that's on Zuby. That's his second personal foul. Ejiofor with 20 points and 5 boards in this game.
That's a foolish foul right there.
Hopkins with 13 and 7. And Dar with 12 points after a career best or a season's best 16 yesterday. Rattles the free throw in.
They're going to keep fouling. It's 10 points, right? I would imagine one more foul here.
And a foul goes to Hopkins.
Nope, Holloway said no.
Side up court to Sannon. Sannon to Darling. 15 seconds inside the Sellers. Lays it up and good. So 13.2, 78-66. Quickly the other way. And Clark lays it up and in. 78-68, 10-point ball game with 7.8.
All right, handling business here, Mink. Keep the train moving. Next stop, championship Saturday night.
And Sellers will dribble it out for the second straight year. St. John's is playing for a Big East championship as they win their semifinal against the Seton Hall Pirates tonight at Madison Square Garden. And will play either UConn or Georgetown for the championship. Red Storm win it 78-68.
Yep, now it's rest up and ice up and get ready for, the opportunity to cut down nets again, next year, like last year. I mean, it was amazing. That was so elusive. Not that you get used to this here, but, let's face it, St. John's fans, think about this. The way you felt, even with the 31-5 record last year, all those wins, the way you felt going into the Big East tournament last year versus the way you felt this year, there's probably a level of expectation this year because you did it last year, whereas it had been so long and there's different emotions and, fears and whatever, scars, if you will. But, St. John's has learned how to win in a big way, and it's no surprise because for my money, they got the best coach in the history of college basketball, Rick Pitino.
There's a lot of expectations, but you know what? I mean, from last year's championship team and this year's champion, it's a totally different team.
It is.
And the first, of course, was a rebuilt team as well.
I know, but the difference in the one common denominator, which is going to make it tough for next year, is No, Zuby. So, but a very different team, but Zuby's still the man. There's no question.
Ricky Johns joins us down by the St. John's locker room. Coach, congratulations on the victory. Want to ask this. Each basketball game has its own basic personality. Was the personality of this game here tonight, in light of the first two, what you as a staff expected?
You know, the last 10 minutes of that half, we gave up more offensive rebounds. We gave up, 3-point shots. We had some miscues on some dribble drives and not being in the gaps. And Seton Hall, put pressure on us to continue to play. I think we kind of got a little hesitant offensively, didn't really move the ball. But overall, I mean,
I think Coach just cares so much about this sport, and that's one thing you have to appreciate the most. Like playing for a coach like that is just wants to win so bad, and the rest of the coaching staff is like that as well. So I mean, there's no difference between sad Dan or angry Dan as much as I would really say. But I mean, it's just when you have a coaching staff that just cares so much about the sport. I mean, you want to just do anything you can to win.
All right, solo ball, Terrace Reed and head coach Dan Hurley after the Huskies' 93-68 win over Xavier. Paul Roper with you in the Learfield Network studios. At last, the St. John's Seton Hall game has ended, and the Red Storm win 78-68 to punch their ticket to tomorrow's Big East Championship game. Before we head over to the scouting report, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification presented by Brown, Panderas, and Scott. This is UConn men's basketball from Learfield. Right, about 28 minutes or so from our game between Georgetown and Yukon. As we continue to roll on, let's go to our scouting report, which is sponsored by Hart Auto Group. You got to drive Hart. HartCars.com. That's HARTE Cars.com. Here's Wayne Norman back at Madison Square Garden.
One of the treats of UConn and Georgetown is getting a chance to catch up with Rich Shavatskin, the longtime play-by-play voice of the Hoyas, whose club comes into the semifinal game against UConn tonight. Rich, the Hoyas finished in last place in the Big East. What are they doing here in the semifinals tonight?
Well, Wayne, one of the things they're doing, they're rebounding the basketball. They're plus 33 on the glass over the two games, and Ed Coley stretched. Rebounding and take care of the basketball. They turned it over 12 times in the first half, and Villanova got 14 off the turnovers, only 2 in the second half, only 4 points off turnovers for Villanova, and Georgetown hit shots and really defended. I mean, I think what's helped Georgetown, field goal percentage defense and three-point percentage defense have really been outstanding these last two ball games. Yeah, the first two games of this tournament, the opponents have shot 38% from the floor. What's changed with Georgetown defense? Why has the defense been so good so far? Well, I think partly Vince Uwachukwu in the post. He's been a monster defensively. And then, of course, Georgetown has been able to really pressure the lead guards. The last two ball games, especially when you look at the DePaul Blue Demons, their lead guard. Georgetown adjusted. They 2 games without him, and now they've won 3 straight. They figured it out. Well, they did figure it out. You know, off the bench, Jeremiah Williams is... Might lose a team with the best bigs wins tonight. I couldn't agree with you more. I think the rebounding is going to be a key. Rim protection is going to be a key. And who controls the glass? Rich Shavatskin, the longtime play-by-play voice of the Hoyas, who, by the way, his wife, Lynn, is a UConn graduate. She's a master's degree. Who does she root for tonight? Well, you know, I always ask her that. You know, I hope in my heart that she roots for Georgetown, but she's...
An SBA lender in the state, we're all in for businesses. We're dedicated to making banking easier for busy families, providing value in the moments that matter most.
Congratulations, you got the house.
And now, as the official bank of UConn, we're here for all of UConn Nation too. Learn more at mtb.com/UConn. M&T Bank, the official bank of UConn. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Hey, it's Mike Monaco.
And Chrissy Monaco. You know, champions choose Monaco Ford. Just ask UConn's Alex Caravan and Ashlyn Shade. They count on Monaco Ford for performance, reliability, and a team that's got their back.
From the tough F-150 to the versatile...
Today.
Or start your deal online at MonacoFord.com.
That's MonacoFord.com.
Heard from Bridgeport to Willimantic. This is the UConn Sports Network from Learfield.
We're climbing and we're were babies made. What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Talking to them about gun safety in your home is a good first step, but you can do more. Always keep your guns locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
You wanted to be cool, which led you to smoking, which led to a pack a day. Then you met that special someone, which led to starting a life with them, which led to wanting to live longer, which led to quitting. Then
they're put a lot of pressure on you. I think the ball screen, Villanova's ball screen defense, I think was a good matchup for them. I think for us, we're going to do things to get the ball out of their hands. So one thing you're not going to want to see is the guards hitting the roller a lot when we really put pressure on them in the ball screen game. So I think it's important that we get the guards on their heel. We're playing 4-on-3 on the weak side.
A little old school here. Vinnie Johnson, Pistons, the original microwave. Von Melrady, he really brought some stuff off the bench. He can be a dangerous guy with the team, can he?
Yeah, he can be. And I think, hopefully we learned our lesson. And we got to get all into his airspace. And we got to be totally attached, when they run things to get him shots. And we got to run him off the line and force him to make plays downhill.
All right, finally the offense came around last night. Do you expect that same kind of production?
I don't think you ever know what to expect. I think there's things you hope for, Mike, but just want to take care of the ball and hopefully just have even a better level of shot making. It felt like last night, even though we shot a very high percentage, it felt like we missed a bunch of open ones.
All right, Coach, good luck. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Here we go.
All right, that's Dan Hurley. Back with the starting lineups. The opening tip: UConn Georgetown semifinals of the Big East tournament.
UConn fans, when it comes to
the line a lot, and he's a reason why. He has taken the most free throws on the team and made the most, and he shoots them well at 75%. But he's out for the season with a left ankle injury suffered against Marquette on February the 24th. So that element of the game will be taken away from Georgetown. Now, Malik Mack also shoots them well, 82%. His game won't change. But I think they've got two things that have changed since the injury to K.J. Lewis. One is they're using the bigs a lot more, including together with Iwuchukwu and also Halaifanua. They're both 7-footers. And the other is the insertion of the starting lineup of Jeremiah Williams, who, again, averages only 6 points a game on the season. But in these last 5 games that he started since the injury to K.J. Lewis, he's averaged 13.6 points per game. And he's not shooting threes well over the last 3 games, but he's still a guy that gives them some offense. So it's a different look that UConn has to defend with this Georgetown team tonight, coming off that easy victory over Xavier yesterday. And again, I was surfing Twitter around, and I found this one on Twitter too, that in that game against Xavier last night, UConn had 1.4 points per possession. That's the second most of the season, and they shot 57%, their second best of the season. On March 7th, last Saturday against Marquette, UConn 92.2 points per possession. Not make that 9.22. That's the worst of the season. To the second play in the last place team in the league, tied with Georgetown for last Xavier, which is not a good defensive team. But the bottom line is Huskies had a lot going. You talked to Coach Hurley about the impact of the bench. Jay Ross was terrific off the bench, and you got good play from Malachi Smith and from Eric Ryba. And if they can get that going forward, they're going to go a long way in postseason.
UConn, when they met on January 17th, Georgetown was 7th in the net ratings around the country. Georgetown was 129th, but the Hoyas have moved up considerably the way they played here down the stretch. And UConn and Georgetown will play for the right to meet the defending St. John's Red Storm, the champs of the Big East tournament and the regular season this year. Now we send it to Paul Roper in our studios.
Thank you very much, Mike and Wayne. As he just mentioned, St. John's getting the win over Seton Hall to begin today's semifinal action in the Big East tournament. It was a big game for the Johnnies as they were able to bury Seton Hall with a 19-point lead in the second half, and eventually Seton Hall tried to make a comeback, but could not get any closer than 6 down the stretch, and St. John's holds on for a 78-68 win over Seton Hall. Let's take a look at some of the other action around conference tournaments. We'll start in the Big Ten, in progress. Purdue taking on Nebraska. Nebraska, the 2 seed. Purdue, the 7 seed. Less than 5 minutes to play in that one in Chicago. It's 63-52 for the Boilermakers over the upstart Huskers. Winner of that game will face either UCLA or Michigan State in tomorrow's semifinal. Other semifinal has already been decided, or at least the semifinalists in the first semifinal have been decided. Ohio State took on Michigan, and Michigan wins at 71-67 over their rivals as the regular season champs advance to face Wisconsin tomorrow. The Badgers defeat Illinois 91-88. Over at the SEC tournament, this one's been a dandy so far. Got a good game going on between Ole Miss and Alabama. Ole Miss, second to last in the SEC, trying to do what NC State did a few years ago, and that is win 5 games in 5 days to become its conference tournament champion and get the auto bid. And so far, they're doing a good job against Alabama.
1 for 2. Remember, he went 1 for 2 at the end of the game last night also. But that's the reason he's in. Run the offense, give Ilya some time, and shoot free ones. Shot put up. Cassia knocks it off the backboard, blocks it. Pinkins, transition 3 right side. Good! Defense to offense, Murphy Holloway. That's what you like to see.
That is Gary Darby and Murphy Holloway on the Ole Miss Sports Network from Learfield. Pinkins to cap off an 11-2 run for the Ole Miss Rebels, a game that had been tied at 14 to give them what was a 9-point lead. Eventually stretched the lead to as much as 14. However, Alabama has kept it a little bit closer into the final minute of the first half. Ole Miss still on top, 47-40. Again, Ole Miss, 15 seed out of 16 in the SEC against 2 seed Alabama. And it's Ole Miss by 7 in the final minute of the first half. They'll face the winner of Oklahoma and Arkansas. The winner of that game will face either Oklahoma or Arkansas in the final game of the night at Bridgestone Arena. Other 2 semifinalists are Florida and Vanderbilt. The Gators defeat Kentucky 71-63, and Vanderbilt with an exclamation point down the stretch against its rival Tennessee.
Commodores face the press. It's Nickel to throw it in. He finds Tanner. Tennessee wants to double. Fires all the way down court. McLaughlin with the catch. Hands it off to Miles. Whoa! Slam dunk! Jalen Washington. Jay Wash brings the house down and makes it 73-68. Wow.
Kevin Ingram and company on the Vanderbilt Sports Network from Learfield. The exclamation point for Washington in the final minute. You know, Vanderbilt only shot 2 of its last 12 from the field. They hold on to defeat their rival Tennessee 75-68. Inside Bridgestone Arena. ACC tournament for 14 and a half minutes to go. Other semifinal will pit Duke and Clemson in Charlotte. Iowa State with a 52-47 lead over Arizona with 17 minutes to play in the second half. And the other semifinal in Kansas City will be Kansas and Houston. Big 12 tournament with all top 15 teams as semifinalists. And in the World Baseball Classic, USA up 1-0. Bottom of the first inning, Canada now up at bat after Kyle Schwarber has an RBI ground out to score Bobby Witt Jr. We'll send it back to Madison Square Garden after the break, and then we'll get ready to tip things off between the Hoyas and the Huskies, presented by Brown, Payne, Dearest, and Scott. This is UConn men's basketball from Learfield.
Listen closely. Did you hear that? That's the sound of employees being productive. They're so efficient because they partnered with Xerox to manage workplace technology. From advanced printers to automating your workflows to IT solutions, our local experts ensure your business runs smoothly. Visit us at Xerox.com/UConn. Xerox. We make work work.
Planning a move? Let Lippincott Van Lines, the official mover of the Yukon Huskies, take the worry and stress out of your relocation. Whether you're moving across the country, across the world, or just across the street, Lippincott Van Lines will handle your packing, moving, and storage needs with the care and quality they deserve. If the Yukon Huskies football team can trust Lippincott to get their gear to the field on time, you can trust them to get your items where they need to be. Call Lippincott Van Lines today for a free estimate at 800-245-8563.
Is your retirement game plan a well-executed play or just a Hail Mary? I'm Eric Hogarth, certified financial planner at Johnson Brunetti. As the official wealth management sponsor of the Yukon Huskies, we've helped over 7,000 families navigate and thrive playbook by visiting Johnson Brunetti Planning Resources. Johnson Brunetti is a marketing name for the businesses of JB Capital and JN Financial. Investment advisory services offered through JB Capital, LLC. Insurance products offered through JN Financial, LLC.
Aw, shucks. The game's on TV, but I can't listen to the call of my favorite team broadcasters.
Yep,
Never fear, Sync My Game is here.
Sync My Game?
Yes, Sync My Game. If you have a DVR and streaming device, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield. It's never been easier to hear the impassioned voices of your favorite radio crew synced with the TV.
Wow, thank you, Mr.
Just remember, syncmygame.com.
This is Yukon men's basketball. Now back to our Connecticut Chevy dealers broadcast location.
It's a new look for Georgetown for the first two meetings between these teams. On February 24th, the Hoyas lost their leading scorer for the rest of the year, 6'4" junior guard K.J. Lewis, with a left ankle injury. They lost the first two games without him, but have won the last three. Georgetown lost four starters from last year's 18 and 16 team that finished 7th in the Big East. They were picked 6th in the preseason Big East coaches poll this year, but finished tied for last with Xavier. They're not a good shooting team, 44% in league games, 4th worst. They don't take a lot of threes, but they get to the line a lot. They've been using a bigger lineup since Lewis went down. Keys for UConn tonight. Number 1, win the rebounding battle. The Hoyas have good size, a pair of 7-footers. Vince Iwuchukwu is a double-double machine. He had one Wednesday against DePaul, and he had 12 points and 14 rebounds against UConn in January. And 7-footer Julius Halaifanua had 21 points and a career-high 10 rebounds against Villanova last night. The Hoyas out-rebounded the Huskies 40-34 in January. Don't give the Hoyas second-chance looks. Georgetown was out-rebounding its last two opponents in this tournament by a whopping 16.5 boards per game. Key number 2, ball security. Turnovers have become a big issue for the Huskies recently, but UConn had only 10 giveaways last night and averaged just 8 in the two games against Georgetown this year. And key number 3, play defense without fouling, keep the Hoyas off the free throw line, and keep the guards out of the paint. Malik Moore makes a living at the foul line, but Lewis was an excellent slasher who got to the line a lot, but he is out tonight. The keys to the game brought to you by Sullivan Automotive Group, where Braylon Mullen shops. Drive like a champion with Sullivan Automotive. 8 brands and 4 locations in Torrington and Avon. Online at sullivanautomotive.com. UConn and Georgetown tied for the most Big East tournament championships with 8 apiece. Huskies and the Hoyas want to make it 9 tonight, or this weekend anyway. But this will be the first time that UConn and Georgetown have played in the Big East tournament since 2011. That was the year that UConn won 5 games in 5 days. The Georgetown game was the second of those 5 games. UConn won it 79-62. And one more note that we noticed before last night's UConn-Xavier game, they said it was a sellout, but there were a surprisingly number of empty seats. I would say maybe there were 14,000 in here, and it filled in over the course of the game. Well, tonight, this place is nearly full. Now, part of that's because St. John's played the first game, and Seton Hall played St. John's. St. John's won that game by 10. But the bottom line is there's going to be a lot more atmosphere in this sold-out building tonight, Mike.
Well, this thing is sold out. But you know how it is. People who have their teams lose don't stick around to watch the next game. UConn hockey has a match with Boston University in the Hockey East quarterfinal. Bob Joyce and Adam Giardino will have the call 12:45 pregame on the UConn Sports Network on Varsity or the Varsity Network app. Wanted to let you know about that. The Huskies in a big game. As the teams are being announced, these two have met 78 times in the history of the series. Early on, Georgetown dominated, led UConn 27-16 under John Thompson. But since then, UConn's won 26 of the last 35. They've won 2 this year against Georgetown. So the Huskies and the Hoyas, 2 old-school Big East teams, meeting here in the semifinal for the right to meet St. John's for the championship tomorrow night at 6:30 here.
And the Jersey City guy, Dan Hurley, has been very successful here in this building. He's won 12 of his last 15 games at Madison Square Garden.
They're dark blue, deep dark blue visiting jerseys. They come in as the 11th seed in the tournament. Just about ready to get started.
This game was supposed to begin at 8:05, but that first game between St. John's and Seton Hall went long, so we had to kill some time on our pregame show, but we're ready to go at 8:30 from the Big Apple.
UConn 28-4 coming in. Georgetown 16 and 17. As the huddle about to break for the Huskies. We sit about 25 rows up in the Lexus Concourse across from the Georgetown bench, and we're in the Connecticut Chevy Dealers broadcast location. So we have a good view of it. We're not on the floor like many are. Westwood Radio is down there these days, the Fox Television broadcast. Georgetown, Cinderellas right now of this Big East tournament with 2 wins in 2 nights. Can they make it 3 in 3 nights? Or can UConn win their 2nd straight game in this tournament and get to the championship game again?
A lot of upsets in this tournament so far, including 3 on the first day for the first time in Big East tournament history. But the higher seed, top seed St. John's, beat 4th seed Seton Hall in the first half of this doubleheader tonight.
UConn won the Big East tournament championship last time in 2020. To the front court on the right sideline of Braylon Mullins. Out front to Ball. Now Caravan gives to Demery, left sideline at the hash. Demery holds there. Looks to his right. Gets it to Caravan. Caravan now to Reed at the high post right. Reed looks down low. Under 10 to shoot. He gets to Mullins. Ball deflected loose by Isaiah Abraham. Mullins drives inside. And Abraham blocks his shot. And he has a few words for him. So right away, Abraham, the former Husky, slaps Mullins' shot right back in his face. And there's 1 second to shoot.
11th block of the year by the sophomore.
And Abraham said, I'm ready. Here's Reed, who's able to get a shot up on an inbound and bank it in. And they're going to have to check that. Did he get it off? There was only 1 second. And I think he did get it off, but now Brian O'Connell's going to check it right away. You heard the buzzer for the 30-second clock go off.
And UConn starting this game the way they've started many games, especially in the last month, get a touch inside for Terrace Reed. Now, that first possession, they didn't, as eventually the shot by Mullins was blocked by Abraham. But on
he's with a little pressure. Emery will guard Malik Mack across the timeline, left to right. Out front to Caleb Williams. Now Abraham fires it left. In the hands of Jeremiah Williams, who starts to his right. Skips it cross court to Abraham for 3. No good. Rebounded by Reed. Reed outlet to Demery. Front court left. Demery starts left, outside the arc on the left wing, back to his right. Picked up by Abraham, doing a nice job defending so far. Here's Demery, gives to Reed at the high post right. Reed with 1 dribble, backdoor ball. Ball lays it up. Good bounce pass by Reed for the first bucket of the ball game. Ball with a great outlet. Demery, front court left. Right sideline in front of Ed Cooley. Demery, high post handoff to Reed. Reed, left-hand dribble, gives back to Mullins behind the screen of Reed. And he puts up a 12-footer that goes in. So Mullins, good to see that happen. Mullins has been struggling. 18 for 47 in his last 6 games, 38%.
And he did that a couple of times last night, too.
Caleb Williams on a drive, and the ball deflected out of bounds. They say it's a foul on Solo Ball. And this is what we were saying, Wayne, to start by Solo Ball. On the cut without the basketball by the Georgetown player.
Huskies have a new point guard. Terrace Reed has assists on both UConn field goals so far. He's a good passing big man.
And Williams throws it into the backcourt. And it's retrieved by Caleb Williams. Back to the front court right on the left sideline. Gives to Malik Mack. It's got Demery on him. Mack now wants to get a screen from Alifa Noah. He does. Gives it back to the big 7-foot New Zealander. And Mack with a handoff to Alifa Noah, stolen by Demery. Ahead to Mullins. Mullins fires to Caravan. Caravan in the far corner. Cut off there. And he threw it away into the backcourt to Braylon Mullins. It'll be a backcourt violation. Second turnover by the Huskies. The shot clock violation was the first. The first 8 minutes of the second half against Xavier. They got outscored early 7-0. Lead was cut to 14. Huskies then ran away and won by 25.
You and I talked early about that at the hotel last night, and I said, well, Dan, the Xavier shot 4 of its first 20 in the second half. He wasn't buying it. Just didn't like what happened early in the half.
Yeah, you got to take care of the ball, and that's really been an issue here and there during the season. Here's Malik Mack on the right wing. Gives it up to Alifa Noah. He spins on Reed. He goes to his left hand. He missed it. Rebounds taken down by Demery. Demery running to the front court. He gives to Mullins. Mullins throws up a 3. Got it. Braylon Mullins, the rookie, with a moon ball. UConn 7-0.
He'd been just 3 of 20 from 3 in the last 3 games. That time transition 3 from the left side.
8 of 33 in his last 6 games, 24%. Here's Abraham, hands it off to Jeremiah Williams. He tries to blow by Ball. He puts up a shot over Ball. He missed it. It's rebounded by Reed, saved by Williams. He gives to Holifa Noah, who dunks. Georgetown gets their first bucket. They got lucky to get that bucket. 7-2, 16.5 to go in the first half. UConn leads. Demery on the right sideline, out front to Mullins. Mullins, guarded by Mack, gives to Caravan, down low to Reed. They look to double Reed. Reed now moves inside on Holifa Noah. He keeps the dribble. He's doubled. He has to get rid of it. No, he doesn't. Puts up a jump hook. It's short. No good. So Georgetown, good double team defense.
First UConn miss.
Malik Mack to the front court, top of the arc on the left wing. Starts to his left. Out front to Abraham, guarded by Ball. Abraham fires another 3. That's no good. Rebounded by Reed again. So Reed dominating the boards early. He's got 3. Demery, front court left on the left sideline. Blows by Williams. Gives back to Reed. Reed at the high post left. Now he looks for the cutters. Now he starts to post up down low to Holifa Noah. He tried to put a shot up. Finally a foul is called. I'll tell you what, Holifa Noah put like a lasso on him, and Reed got a shot off, and there's a foul call. I don't think it's going to be a shooting foul, though. We'll find out when we return. Discover Dean Cabinetry, trusted for 25 years. Stock custom and semi-custom kitchens built for your budget. Schedule today at deancabinetry.com. Proud local sponsor of the UConn Sports Network. 7-2 Huskies after 4.5 minutes here at Madison Square Garden in the Big East semifinals of the Big East tournament. This is UConn men's basketball on Learfield.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round. Guess the clues to win. First team, you're up.
Powerful, commanding, unstoppable.
Silverado.
Adventurous, fun, techie.
Trailblazer.
Stylish, nimble.
Tracks.
Innovative, electric.
Blazer EV. Lightning Round champions. You've guessed all the right Chevy clues.
Wherever the year takes you, explore it together in the Chevy of your choice. Visit your Connecticut Chevy dealers.
There's something new to cheer about. Introducing the exclusive M&T Bank Yukon debit and credit card collection. Pick your favorite design and pay like a champion. To open an account or upgrade your current card, visit mtb.com/Yukon or stop by an M&T Bank branch near you. M&T Bank, the official bank of Yukon. Member FDIC. Visa is a registered trademark of Visa International Service Association.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup for the top college athletic programs for the 2025-26 college athletic season? Check out the criteria and follow the year-long standings of your favorite team at L Directors Cup on the X platform.
Knocked down a couple shots. He'd been struggling.
Well, he missed a couple of threes in the first half last night, but it looked like he changed his game. He can still put the ball on the court, drive inside the circle, drive inside the lane, and get layups, but he's more of a spot-up shooter. Well, in yesterday's game against Xavier, he missed those early threes and decided to get 2-pointers, get inside the circle, and it was very effective for him. He did miss one early in this game, but then he was able to on games recently.
By Vince Chukwu just came in the ball game, former St. John's player. And he gives it out to Jeremiah Williams. Williams fires in the far corner to Mack, back out front. In the hands of Caleb Williams, cut off on the drive. Iwachuku in the corner. He's got Reed out there guarding him. Now Mack on the left sideline in front of the UConn bench. Crossover, under 10 to shoot. He misses. Rebound Mullins. It was a 3-ball. Outlet to Ball. Ball into the paint. Push from behind. He puts it up and in from 8 feet away. Solo Ball. Playing through the contact, and UConn leads 11-5.
They probably won't call that a transition or fast break hoop at UConn.
Front court right. It's Jeremiah Williams. He's guarded by Demery. Williams starts right up a screen by Iwachuku, and a foul on Iwachuku. He threw a hip into him, and Tim Clockerty was all over, and he blew the whistle. UConn basketball.
One of the goals when Ryba's on the floor is get him touches, because usually when he touches...
Cross for 3, long one, back rim, no good, and a foul on Malik Mack. He shoved Caravan from behind. Caravan had inside possession, so the Huskies get the ball back with 20 to shoot on a foul by Malik Mack, the guard.
We're seeing in the last couple of minutes more penetration by
City for Jaden Ross, and the Husky defense producing points. They lead by. It's tough to do. I mean, it's so difficult. NC State did it a couple of years ago, but I mean, you could probably say once every 10 years or more, something like that happens.
Well, each of those first two opponents that year, DePaul and Georgetown, were missing their leading scorer. Huskies took advantage of that, though, and they were able to advance to the quarterfinals, and that was the classic game where Kemba Walker beat Pittsburgh, the top seed, in the quarterfinals. Huskies went on to win 2 more games, Syracuse in overtime, and then Louisville for the championship. Brian O'Connell, officiating this game, was an official in that game that Kemba Walker at the shot.
Yeah, Rick Pitino was coaching Louisville at the time. Mulready, as they work the perimeter, they get it to Caleb Williams, back to Mulready, and a steal by Reid. He deflects it out of bounds. They tried to go down low to Halifa Noah, but Terrace, good anticipation, poked it out of bounds with his left hand.
Dan Hurley was telling us at the hotel last night that he wants Reid to play with a passion and continue the momentum he had at the start of the game last night. He didn't continue that. Well, we saw in that last layup that he got, the one before the Ross fast break, that he really played with some passion on that. He's got 2 points, but he's also got a team-high 3 assists.
Now Langston Love comes back in for Georgetown, grad guard. They got a corner 3, and it rims in and out. A rebound that goes in on a nice attack of the rim on the offensive glass by Kevon Mulready, and UConn should not allow that to happen. He got right to the basket and banked in the miss for 2.
He's generally the 3-point threat. This time a putback. He was 5 for 5 last night from overall and 3 for 3 from 3-point range.
20-14, UConn's lead. 8:20 to go in the first. Low scoring so far. This is Malachi, gives to Braylon Mullins back in the game. Out front to Reid. Chips it over to Demery. Now on the left sideline, it's Malachi Smith. Starts to his right. He's got a man open. It's Jaden Ross. Attempts the 3, now drives inside. Lost the dribble, and it's turned over. Here comes Georgetown, the Hoyas. On the drive inside, Jeremiah Williams. And a jump ball is called a held ball. It'll be Georgetown possession. As we get under 8 minutes and 7:58 to go. 58 to go. And UConn leading 20-14. All tournament long, Westwood 1 and Varsity Network bring you the action to Indianapolis all the way to the Final Four. For your team's call, stream it exclusively on the free Varsity Network app. Download today. 10 seconds for station ID. Then these messages presented by Brown Paint Harrison Scott. UConn leading by 6 in the semifinal of the Big East Tournament.
Mike Rowe here with a random fact. More than half of the homes that have basements in North America will experience water damage. It's true. Whether it's basement moisture, flooding, or bowing walls, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys. They're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to waterproof your basement and stabilize your walls. Of UConn Athletics.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Are you traveling out of Bradley Airport and need a safe, reliable place to park your car? Trust your vehicle to Laz Fly Off-Airport Parking, located on Route 75 in Windsor Locks. They have both valet and self-park options to fit any budget. Laz Fly is open 24 hours a day and will get you to the airport on time, every time. Join their loyalty program to earn points for free parking, and be sure to ask about their corporate discounts. Save 20% by pre-booking online at LAZFL. 20% by pre-booking online at LAZFL.
They count on Monaco Ford for performance, reliability, and a team that's got their back.
From the tough F-150 to the versatile Explorer and the thrilling Mustang, we've got the lineup built for winners.
Visit us in Glastonbury or Niantic today.
Or start your deal online at MonacoFord.com.
That's MonacoFord.com.
Play-by-play coverage of UConn men's basketball rolls on. Now, let's go back to our Connecticut Chevy dealers broadcast location.
UConn basketball brought to you by Johnson Brunetti, proud to be the official wealth management sponsor of the UConn Huskies. Alongside Wayne Norman, I'm Mike Crispino. Alex Green, our engineers. Huskies lead 20-14, and we're in our Connecticut Chevy dealers broadcast location. Wayne, Huskies shooting better from the field, but still from 3, only 2 for 9 tonight.
Well, they had missed 6 out of 7 shots, and 4 of those were three-pointers, but now they've made back-to-back shots. as Reed got a layup, and then Ross got a steal by Demery. And eventually Demery found Ross for the fast break dunk to give UConn its biggest lead at that point, 20-12. And the field goal before that was by Alex Karaban. We mentioned earlier that he just today became the career minutes leader at UConn. He's now one made three-pointer away from being UConn's career three-point make player. He's got 275 career made three-pointers after the one he just had. Rashad Anderson is number one. He's got 276, and I wrote to Rashad today to let him know it's going to probably put him down to number two, and he just gave me the thanks for that response.
Yeah.
Rashad's great. We got along so well back in his playing days. Had some huge shots at UConn. I remember that one buzzer-beating three in the NCAA tournament against Washington that forced overtime, and then UConn eventually won that game to advance. But that big Rashad smile, and he's going to become number two pretty soon as Karaban passes him on a three-point.
Mulready inbounds it to Abraham, the top of the key, gets it back on the left wing, guarded by Malachi Smith, and Smith deflects it out of bounds off his leg. How about that? Malachi Smith is a pest, and I mean that in a good way, as he just knocked the ball out of Mulready's hands and out of bounds off his knee, and UConn gets it back.
Smith gets the steal on that, and it's 5 turnovers by Georgetown.
It's Mullins, Demery, Karaban, Reed, and Malachi Smith, with UConn leading by 6. 7:50 to go in the first half of the second semifinal tonight of the Big East tournament. Demery front court left up the right sideline, being hounded by Jeremiah Williams. Gives to Reed, takes a handoff back. Now back up another screen by Reed into the paint. Puts a floater up. Oh, he stuffed it home. What a pass, alley-oop. Tyrannosaurus Reed stuffed it home with one hand.
And it all started with that penetration we talked about by Demery. But yeah, the one hand is what made that work. He put the right hand up and the right hand down.
22-14, UConn. Williams blows by his man into the paint, lost it. Picked up by Halifa Noah. Saved it at foul line, extended right, gives to Abraham. Baseline jumper, Abraham, back rim, rebound Reed, another one. Reed now with 4. Ahead to Demery, front court right, he's on the right sideline with it. Being guarded there by Caleb Williams, out front, Mullins 3. Back rim no good, long rebound, Demery got it. And the Huskies get another 20. Here's Malachi. Left wing, gives it to Reed out front. Reed down low, cutting, Karaban lays it in. Oh, the big man. That was Larry Bird-like. That's what that was from Reed. He's got 4 assists. UConn now by 10, first double-digit lead. Caleb Williams between the rings, guarded by Demery, starts to his left. Wants to give it up, but Malachi Smith denying the man. He wants to go to Mulready. Gets it back on the left wing, Williams. Williams starts to his right, attacks inside, gives it to Abraham. Blocked by Mullins on a three-point attempt. Abraham got it back. Another 3, air ball, and UConn's defense clamping down on the Hoyas. And they'll get it back with a 10-point lead. Reed is coming out, Ryba coming in, and that's frustrating for Ed Cooley. They had a couple of attempts, one blocked and then an air ball.
They're 1 for 9 from 3, 6 of 21 overall. They missed 7 of the last 8 shots, and Mullins blocked that first attempt from three-point range. He had a career-high 3 blocks last night, now 19 on the year.
Langston Love comes in, a grad guard from Universal City, Texas. Came from Baylor. UConn having trouble to getting it in. They get it into Karaban. Now he hands it over to Malachi Smith in the backcourt to our right where the bench is for UConn, and across the timeline on the right sideline. Out front to Mullins. Mullins with a handoff to Demery. They're in a weave to the right, and a foul is called on Ryba on a screen on the perimeter. And it'll be Georgetown's ball.
So that's 5 turnovers already for UConn. First foul on Ryba.
Yeah, you cannot move your hip 1 inch. You're going to get that call against you. And I'm not sure it's 100% fair to a big man like that, but that's the call.
And I thought Caleb Williams fouled Karaban at the top, but the foul earlier had already been called on Ryba.
Pick and roll to Halifa Noah, and he is fouled by Malachi Smith, who was helping on defense down low. That stops play. UConn 5 team fouls, Georgetown 3. Huskies have made 4 of their last 5 from the field. Georgetown 1 of their last 8. They haven't scored in 2 minutes and 30 seconds. All right, so now Malachi Smith comes out. UConn goes back to that conventional lineup. Ball's had 2 fouls. He hasn't played much. They get it to Halifa Noah. Spins on Ryba along the baseline. Digs the right shoulder. Now he goes to a little left-hander. A little looper goes in. Kind of a scoop shot. 24-16, UConn leads. Here's Demery in a blow-by move on the right wing. He puts up a baseline jumper. It's no good. And Rybo's fouled. He had inside position on Halifanoa. And the Huskies on the boards tonight, out-rebounding Georgetown 14-10. But, Wayne, I like the position they're getting inside most of the time.
And they're getting offensive rebounds, too. Although some of these times they've gotten offensive rebounds, sometimes 2 on one sequence. They're not getting points out of it. Overall, second chance points, Georgetown has 7. UConn has 4.
All right, Demery and the home white to our left on the baseline across from the Georgetown bench to inbound. And he looks to Caravan. Left wing Caravan skips it right to Mullins. Mullins up the screen of Caravan. Into the paint. Pull up, mid-range. Good! 12-footer by Mullins. He looks good tonight. He's got 9. And UConn leads it by 10, 26-16. Now across the timeline comes Jeremiah Williams on the right sideline, guarded by Jaden Ross. Back to his left with the dribble. Williams running some time off. Now they're down to 12. Gives it up on a bounce. Drive inside. Over Mullins. Scoop goes in. Nice shot that time by Caleb Williams. 26-18 UConn. Under 5 minutes to go. Demery between the rings. Gives it to Ross. Ross on the right wing. Back to Demery on the left wing. Up the high screen of Riva. Pick and roll. Demery floats it up. No good. Got his own rebound. No good. And Vince Iwuchukwu comes up with it.
That's what I was talking about. They get offensive rebounds and they can't score off.
Jeremiah Williams to Mack. Back rim no good. Rebound Demery. Well, Demery's really done a nice job rebounding. He's got 5 himself. Right wing, front court left. Out front to Caravan, a work to Mullins. Mullins drives left, gets bumped twice, puts up a floater. Good! Mullins undeterred on the drive. And it's 28-18. He's in double figures with 11.
And again, the story is Mullins scoring from 2-point range, not the usual spot up 3.
All right, Williams, Jeremiah on the left wing at the hash. Guarded by Ross. Now Riba tries to pick him up. He drives baseline. Kicks it down low to Iwuchukwu. Stolen by Riba. Riba outlet Demery. Up the right sideline he goes. Sprinting. Pulls up on the right wing. Looks over the defense. Cuts into the paint. Looks to give it up, and he does. Outside of Mullins. Long 3. No good. Up the front rim. And boarded by Jeremiah Williams. On the outlet, Malik Mack. Top of the key. Right. Gives it up to Langston Lowe. Love backs away, fires it right to Mack. They want to go down low to Iwuchukwu. He's battling with Riba. Mack almost lost the dribble. Now he has to fire it left in the hands of Langston Love. Got Caravan in front of him. Under 10 to shoot. He turns the corner right. Caravan on the defense. And a layup, a good one. Nice shot that time by Love. And it's 28-20 UConn. 3:15 to go. Here's the rebound. Riba misses on a floater off a Demery feed, and the ball knocked out of bounds by Georgetown. That gets us under 4 minutes, but it'll be UConn ball leading 28-20 with 3:08 to go in the first half. With the Jeep Declaration of Deals, we're pledging our allegiance to the American people with great deals. Visit your local Hartford, New Haven Jeep dealer for a great deal today. UConn 28-20. The Huskies over Georgetown in the semifinal, the second one of the night. The winner gets St. John's for the championship tomorrow night. From Brown Paint, Darris and Scott, this is UConn men's basketball on Learfield.
Power Station Events is the official production partner of the UConn Huskies, the ultimate one-stop source featuring audio, video, lighting, staging, talented DJs and musicians, photography and videography, stunning decor and florals, and much more. As we celebrate our 40th anniversary, we want to thank UConn Nation as we look forward to the next 40 years. Visit us at powerstationevents.com and let us help you plan your next awesome event.
The exclusive home of the Huskies. This is the UConn Sports Network from Learfield.
Breathe. Deep inhale. Extend your spine. Remain focused on what you're doing. If safe to do so, exhale slowly, leaning to one side. Inhale back to center. If safe to do so, exhale slowly to the opposite side. Find mental health resources at loveyourmindtoday.org. This message is brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
put your phone on D&D. That means do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always sing with me. So put your phone on D&D. That means do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always remember this beat.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Mike Crispino with the amazingly talented Wayne Norman here with engineer Alex Green from our Connecticut Chevy Dealers broadcast location. I say that because we were in Central Park today walking around, Wayne and I, doing the exercise thing, and we went over to Strawberry Fields, where, they honor John Lennon over there because he lived in the Dakota building very close to that. And Wayne sits down, he picks up a guitar and starts playing with one of the guys there who was, just kind of making some music and collecting some tips. I did not know he had that kind of ability. But that's what he did.
A little In My Life riff.
A little In My Life and a few other things.
And I think tomorrow you and I will walk right near there to the west of Central Park and go to the Dakota, which is where John was living when he was assassinated.
I would do that.
Well, we were pretty close to it, but we said we went the other way to see Strawberry Fields, which is a park that Yoko Ono started to develop after the shooting. There's not a whole lot there, to be honest. There is a big circular thing on the ground with Imagine in the center of it. Well, I think that's designed to be the world, and they had some guy playing non-Beatles music there. I couldn't figure that out. And then a bunch of people selling stuff, pins and John Lennon T-shirts, things like that.
There's not enough good Beatles songs. I mean, come on. They only wrote 200, didn't they, the two of those guys? You're a musicologist. You have a music show in the morning.
I'm a Beatleologist, too.
Yeah. Well, when I put the Beatle channel on Sirius Radio, Wayne stopped me right there. He wouldn't let me move it anywhere. All right, Demery looking inbounded, and they have their troubles. Almost turn it over. Mullins with a nice job, tips it to Reed, and they get possession. Now they're down to 14 to shoot in the front court to the left. Demery turns the corner off a Mullins screen. Now back to his left, gives to Caravan. Caravan down low to Reed. Reed spins, he's doubled for the moment, trying to work his way, and he turns it over. He got pushed and shoved by Iwuchukwu. That should not happen. Terrace Reed cannot let a big man bully him around, and that time he did.
Another example of an offensive rebound UConn can't score off of before the timeout. Riva missed a shot, and UConn got the offensive rebound.
Under 3 minutes to go, UConn leading 28-20 first half, and it's Jeremiah Williams on the left sideline. Starts to his right. Demery trying to guard him. Williams lost his dribble. He backs away in the right wing. Out front, gives to Iwuchukwu. Trying to hand it off to Mack. Ross doing a great job guarding Mack, chasing him around. Mack has to give it up. He fires it right to Williams. Now they're down to 3. He launches a 30-footer. No good. Rebound Mullins. He's everywhere tonight. Mullins, couple rebounds. Here's Caravan front court left. To Mullins. Starts left. Drives to the basket. Lost it. Regains it. Fades away. Jumper good. 8-footer by Mullins. Oh, he's a magician tonight. UConn leads 30-20.
Magician from 2-point range, and that time he lost the ball, regathered it from the left side of the lane, made a quick spin and shot it in.
All right, here's Mack between the rings, guarded by Demery to our right. Starts to his left with a left-hand dribble, tries to turn a corner. Demery, good D, blocked by Reed, saved by Mullins, 2 blocks by Terrace. Ahead to Demery, front court, top of the arc, stop and go, working on Mulready. Now he backs away in the far corner. He gets it to Reed. Reed down low, trying to put it up, missed it. Double team, triple team, trying to put a shot up, and eventually the ball knocked out of bounds off of Georgetown. I mean, they are putting him under siege when he gets the ball down there.
Well, they've had big men, Iwuchukwu, in good defensive position. There's a point when I'm thinking, Terrace, pass it out. He lost it the last time down, and this time could have lost it, but Georgetown knocked it out of bounds.
Yeah, one thing, though, Wayne, it's hard to see among those trees. You got 6 arms, you got 6 legs guarding you. All right, they get it into Demery, foul line extended left. Bounce pass to Reed, high post right, and a foul is called on Mulready as he was just harassing Demery. And eventually you're going to get a foul called against you, and he did.
Demery well rested after sitting out much of the first half with 2 quick fouls yesterday, but he's done his job today. Hasn't scored 0 for 4. Does have 5 rebounds and 3 assists.
Our Caravan inbound along the left sideline front court. Gets it to Demery, 20 to shoot. Demery guarded by Mulready. Starts to his right. Picked up on a switch that time by Caleb Williams. Now Demery looks to his right, wants to get it to Karaban on the cut. Here's Karaban. Down to 7, down to 6. Demery, stop and go. Now what? Trying to put a 3 up. He does. Trying to bank it in. Didn't go in.
He tried to draw a foul on that play.
He did. Jeremiah Williams has it. Williams drives to the right. Can't get a shot off. Dribble penetration the other way by Langston Love. Almost lost it. Kicks it outside of Mulready. Now they start over again. 15 to shoot. 55 seconds left in the half. Jeremiah Williams, a couple of jab steps. Into the paint he comes. And Reed blocks his shot. He rejected him. Fast break Mullins. Mullins lays it in from Karaban. Our Monaco Ford Championship drive, courtesy of Monaco Ford. Glastonbury and Niantic. Shop like a champion online anytime. MonacoFord.com. Terrace Reed.
And that's the biggest UConn lead so far.
32-20, 30 seconds to go. Crowd comes alive. Mulready trying to attack Mullins. Puts up a shot. Wild one. Foul is called by Brian O'Connell as Mullins is looking like, no way. We're going to get another look. I don't know. I think it was just a lousy shot at an air ball.
How about Mullins, though? We've talked about how he's been going for 2-pointers. 3-pointers aren't dropping. He's 1 for 5 from 3, but he is 6 for 7 from 2-point range, and that time scoring in transition after the third Reed block and the assist by Karaban.
You know what he's doing, Wayne? He's playing basketball. He's not thinking, I got to score from 3. He's just playing, and I love that about it. He's 7 of 12. The free throw, no good.
Mullins has 15 of UConn's 32 points in the first half.
Think about it. 6 of his 7 field goals are 2-pointers, like you've been talking about, after the miss by Mulready. 32-20. UConn leads with 25 seconds to go. Isaiah Abraham's going to substitute. Free throw good. Mulready's been harnessed pretty well in this one. He only has 3 points. So UConn, Karaban, Reed, Mullins, Ross, and Reed.
Well, you say he's been harnessed. He's a 3-point threat, and he hasn't been able to get it from 3. He does have a layup and a free throw now.
All right, Demery, front court on the right sideline, are going to take all the time off the clock. It's down to 12. He gives it up to Ross out front. Ross with a handoff. Mullins on a weave out front to Demery. Demery jabs with his left, drives it down to Karaban, and Karaban's fouled going to the basket. And Ed Cooley jumping up and down. He did not like that one. But what a nice pick and roll game UConn has. You got to guard them. You got to guard guys without the ball all the time. And that gets to be tiresome, I got to say.
Jeremiah Williams picks up the foul. It's his first.
UConn calls a timeout. I got to believe they're not giving Karaban any shots here, so they said it wasn't a shooting foul. They got 4.2 seconds left, and they got to draw something up here and get a quick shot. They lead 32-21 at halftime, before halftime.
Huskies with 11 assists on 15 field goals. That's a pretty good number. And Terrace Reed, the top assist man, with 4. He had assists on UConn's first 2 hoops. His career high in assists is 7. He had that in the second Butler game in Hartford. Once they double team him, he's able to pass out in front of their players, and he's able to do that at the start of the game as UConn scored the first 7 points of the contest.
You know, last night, Julius Halifanoa had a career night. 21 points, 10 rebounds as Georgetown knocked out Villanova. Here tonight, he's got 4 points, 2 for 4. And so, to me, that's good coaching. That's putting a strategy together to clamp down on a guy that's really hot. And Halifanoa was as good as he could be last night. So far tonight, just 4 points.
Well, and as good as he was, the fact that we played almost an entire half and he's only taken 4 shots. The bigs, that would be Reed and Ryba, have done a pretty good job, sometimes fronting him, sometimes playing behind, but trying to deny him the touches. Because for the most part, when he's gotten touches, especially from 2 feet away, he's got pretty good moves inside the paint. But the fact he's only taken 4 shots with the offense he showed last night, that shows UConn's defending him well.
All right, final 4 seconds. And Demery has to get it in. He does to Reed on the right wing outside the arc. Reed has the ball stripped from him. And Mulready fires it at the buzzer off the top of the rim. And nothing happens. UConn goes to the locker room leading 32-21, holding Georgetown to 32% shooting, 9 of 28, only 1 of 11 from 3. Huskies with a double-figure lead. Stay with us. The halftime report with Paul Roper coming up next, presented by Brown Paint, Darrison Scott. This is UConn basketball from Learfield.
Is your retirement game plan a well-executed play or just a Hail Mary? I'm Eric Hogarth, certified financial planner at Johnson Brunetti. As the official wealth management sponsor of the Yukon Huskies, we've helped over 7,000 families navigate and thrive in retirement. Level up your financial playbook by visiting johnsonbrunetti.com for free financial planning resources. Johnson Brunetti Retirement, your financial playmaker. Johnson Brunetti is a marketing name for the businesses of JV Capital and JN Financial. Investment advisory services offered through JV Capital, LLC. Insurance products offered through JN Financial, LLC.
For comprehensive coverage of college basketball, tune to Sirius XM College Sports Radio Channel 84 in the car and on the Sirius XM app.
For the win! Got it! Let's go!
Sirius XM is the home of your favorite team and conference, including live games, plus interviews and analysis.
He's got it!
So cheer along with the Sirius XM app and listen to your favorite team anywhere. Get a free trial at SiriusXM.com/College Sports Radio 2025.
Planning a move? Let Lippincott Van Lines, the official mover of the Yukon Huskies, take the worry and stress out of your relocation. Whether you're moving across the country, across the world, or just across the street, Lippincott Van Lines will handle your packing, moving, and storage needs with the care and quality they deserve. If the Yukon Huskies football team can trust Lippincott to get their gear to the field on time, you can trust them to get your items where they need to be. Call Lippincott Van Lines today for a free estimate at 800-245-8563.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup for the top college athletic programs for the 2025-26 college athletic season? Check out the criteria and follow the year-long standings of your favorite team at L Directors Cup on the X platform or online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2026 to the winning institutions in all college sports divisions. The Learfield Directors Cup, powered by NACTA, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
Minutes are in the books. This is the Husky Halftime Report. Coming up, we'll recap the first half and check scores from across the country. Now, let's go to the Learfield Network Studios.
Well, Huskies have practically led wire to wire in this one like they did yesterday, as it's only been tied for a minute. 11 Huskies have had the lead throughout, as they're up by 11 at the break against Georgetown, 32-21 in the second Big East semifinal of the night at Madison Square Garden. Paul Roper with you in the Learfield Network studios. First semifinal was between Seton Hall and St. John's.
Bounce pass comes to Dylan Mitchell, and he circles it out high. Mitchell now. Left wing pass goes to Sandin for the three. Good! Yes! Josan Sandin, and he's fouled as well. Sandin hits his third three of the game, and St. John's up double digits, and a free throw coming.
John Manko and company, or the Make Man, as we like to call him on the St. John's Sports Network from Learfield, as Sandin has 15 points. Zuby Ejiofor, another terrific game, 20 points. St. John's led by as many as 19, though the Pirates made it interesting late in the second half, getting no closer than 6, and St. John's hits their free throws down the stretch to eliminate Seton Hall 78-68. The NIT, very likely for the Pirates, should they decide to play in it. And looking at other conferences around the country, the SEC tournament, quarterfinal action. Ole Miss taking on Alabama.
Bounces it to Dia. Now the Rebels space it out a little bit. Dia on Jemison. Swing pass. Perry all the way in the corner. Eduardo for three. Bottom of the net. And Ole Miss is up 63-50 with 13:13 to go.
Gary Darby on the Ole Miss Sports Network from Learfield, as Ole Miss, thanks to 17 points from Storr, as well as 8 3-pointers, have a 7-point lead on the 2-seed Alabama. That's right, Ole Miss, who had the second worst record in the SEC, now that opportunity to win their third game in 3 days in 3 minutes and 42 seconds of game time. It is 78-71 inside Bridgestone Arena in Nashville. Elsewhere in the SEC, Florida defeats Kentucky 71-63. The Gators will slot against the Vanderbilt Commodores, who win 75-68 over Tennessee. The winner of Ole Miss and Alabama will take on either Oklahoma or Arkansas. They're in the final quarterfinal, and that will settle the final semifinal spot for tomorrow. We'll take a look at some other scores from around college basketball after this timeout. It is UConn 32, Georgetown 21, presented by Brown, Painderis, and Scott. This is UConn men's basketball from Learfield.
UConn fans,
When it comes to sports injuries, do you know where the Huskies go?
UConn Health, Connecticut's only public academic medical center. Our doctors advance research and train future generations of healthcare experts.
All while offering the latest injury prevention, treatment, and performance improvement.
UConn Health. We're delivering care that changes the game for athletes and for everyone.
Learn more at uconhealth.org.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round. Guess the clues to win. First team, you're up.
Powerful, commanding, unstoppable.
Silverado.
Adventurous, fun, techie.
Trailblazer.
Stylish, nimble.
Tracks.
Innovative, electric.
Blazer EV. Lightning Round champions. You've guessed all the right Chevy clues.
Wherever the year takes you, explore it together in the Chevy of your choice. Visit your Connecticut Chevy dealers.
Mike Rowe here with a random fact. More than half of the homes that have basements in North America will experience water damage. It's true. Whether it's basement moisture, flooding, or bowing walls, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys. They're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to waterproof your basement and stabilize your walls.
Groundworks, preferred foundation repair company of UConn Athletics. Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
A true teammate takes on every day with a winner's attitude, gets up when they fall down, and leaves it all on the field. There's a group of teammates who do all these things every single day. But they're more than your typical athlete. They're kids facing unthinkable medical circumstances. Team Impact matches children facing serious illness and disability with college sports teams, creating a long-term, life-changing experience for everyone involved. Join us in the movement to get all kids in the game. Visit teamimpact.org to learn more. Team Impact. All in, all together.
Welcome back to the Learfield Network Studios. Paul Roper with you at halftime for Madison Square Garden. It's UConn 32, Georgetown 21. Winner will face St. John's at tomorrow's Big East Tournament Final. Also a reminder that the UConn women's hockey team will take on Penn State for the right to go to the Women's Frozen Four. Tomorrow's game will be at State College. So will the Frozen Four. And the UConn with an opportunity to knock off the host tomorrow. Penn State comes at the 3 seed. That was after the UConn Huskies defeated Princeton in a first-round game yesterday, 4-1 in State College, Pennsylvania. Let's take a look at some other scores around college basketball. Another quarterfinal that's currently in progress is the Big Ten tournament. They will conclude on Sunday, so they're still in the quarterfinal round. UCLA, a 16-14 lead over 8th-ranked Michigan State. Under 12 media timeout in the first half. They'll take winner of that game will face Purdue after the Boilermakers take down Nebraska 74-58. Michigan, a winner over Ohio State, 71-67. And in overtime, Wisconsin defeats Illinois 91-88. So the first semifinal tomorrow in Chicago will pit Michigan and Wisconsin. Let's switch gears to the Big 12. Kansas City. This is a tournament to watch. They're now on a hardwood floor, and the first game on the hardwood floor proved to be an instant classic between the top seed Arizona and the 5 seed Iowa State.
Bradley walks it across midcourt. 8 seconds left. 7, 6, 5. Bradley driving on Torrey. Looking for the shot, drives right, hang it from there, it's good, and the Cats have won it! Jaden Bradley hangs it for 2, Cats on to the finals!
Ryan Jeffries from Arizona Sports Enterprises as Bradley hits the game winner to eliminate Iowa State from the Big 12 tournament, 82-80. The Wildcats win it. Winner of that, Arizona will face the winner of either Kansas or Houston. That game is set to tip off in 20 minutes from Kansas City. And finally, in the ACC, Virginia routs Miami 84-62. They'll face either Clemson or Duke. That game set to tip off in 5 minutes from Charlotte. Wayne Norman has your first half stats after the break for Madison Square Garden. It's UConn 32, Georgetown 21. Presented by Brown, Pinderis, and Scott. This is UConn men's basketball from Learfield.
At Dime Bank, we're all about community. It's not just by providing banking services, though we're very good at that. We pride ourselves in giving back in ways that go beyond banking. Acts that range from serving on local boards to neighborhood food pantries. Our employees do so not because they have to, but willingly because they care. If your current banking relationship is leaving you wanting a little more, come join our community. It's your bank, your choice, your dime.
Dime Bank. Community banking lives here. Member FDIC.
Are you traveling out of Bradley Airport and need a safe, reliable place to park your car? Trust your vehicle to Last Fly Off-Airport Parking, located on Route 75 in Windsor Locks. They have both valet and self-park options to fit any budget. Last Fly is open 24 hours a day and will get you to the airport on time every time. Join their loyalty program to earn points for free parking, and be sure to ask about their corporate discounts. Save 20% by pre-booking online at lazfly.com. Last Fly is the official parking company and a proud supporter of UConn athletics.
Listen closely. Did you hear that? That's the sound of employees being productive. They're so efficient because they partnered with Xerox to manage workplace technology. From advanced printers to automating your workflows to IT solutions, our local experts ensure your business runs smoothly. Visit us at xerox.com/Yukon. Xerox. We make work work.
When you're on the move and looking for nonstop college sports action, get the Varsity Network app and take the game with you everywhere. Stream live play-by-play from schools across the country right from your phone, free. Catch hundreds of weekly podcasts, including shows from your favorite teams, all in one place. From football Saturdays to midweek hoops, it's your all-access pass to the college sports world. Whether it's game day or just your daily drive, the Varsity Network app has you covered. Download now and listen live for free on the Varsity Network app.
Couple of halftime numbers for you here from the Connecticut Chevy broadcast booth. 21 points by Georgetown in the first half equals the second fewest points scored by a UConn opponent in the first half. Bryant also had 21, but UMass Lowell, second game of the year, had 17. But the fewest points scored by a UConn opponent in a half was the second half, when St. John's had 14 points in the incredible second half of that game in Hartford when they missed their last 24 shots. So here we are at halftime, and the halftime score at this point finds UConn up 32-21, and they are led in scoring by Braylon Mullins, 15 points on 7 of 12 shooting despite 1 of 5 from 3. Solo ball picked up 2 fouls after scoring 4 points. Silas Demery hasn't scored, but he has a team-high 5 rebounds to go with 3 assists. Terrace Reed Jr.'s got 4 points, 5 rebounds, and a team-high 4 assists. Alex Caravan's got 5 points. Off the bench, they got no points, but a couple of assists by Malachi Smith. Eric Riba has 2. Jaden Ross has 2 for the Huskies. Meanwhile, for Georgetown, they were led in scoring by Jeremiah Williams. He got 5 points. Malik Mack had 2. Caleb Williams had none. Isaiah Abraham, the former Husky, had none. And Julius Halifanua had 4 points. Off the bench, 4 points by Langston Love, 3 by Kayvon Mulready, 3 points by Vince Iwachukwu, no points by Jaden Fort. Georgetown 9 of 28, 32% in the first half, 1 for 11 from three-point range, and from the line they were 2 for 3. UConn 46%, 15 of 33, 2 for 12 from 3. 3-pointers made by Caravan and Mullins, and from the line, no chance. They did not take a free throw in the first half. Huskies out-rebounded Georgetown 21-13. 9 offensive rebounds for UConn, 6 second-chance points. Georgetown 5 offensive rebounds, good for 7 second-chance points. Points in the paint, UConn 18, Georgetown 16. Turnovers are 7 apiece. Georgetown had averaged 12 turnovers a game in the games against UConn this year. They've already got 7 in the first half, good for 7 UConn points. And the Huskies have gotten 2 points off the 7 turnovers by Georgetown. Fast break points, Huskies 9, Georgetown 2. UConn bench, which was so good last night, 4 points, 2 rebounds. Georgetown bench, 10 points and 6 rebounds in the first half. As UConn's biggest lead was 12, 32-20. It's 32-21 at halftime here from Madison Square Garden. Huskies won their 6th Big East Tournament championship on today's date in 2004. They were down 11 in the second half, came back to beat Pittsburgh 61-58. Ben Gordon had 23 points. He had the basket that put UConn up for good with 40 seconds to go. A little driving layup down the right side of the lane. He won the tourney most outstanding player. Emeka Okafor was limited in that game. Charlie Villanueva didn't play, but the Huskies still able to win the 2004 Big East Tournament championship. It's the birthday of James Caron Butler today, 46 years old. 2002 Big East Player of the Year. In 2 years, he scored 1,136 points at UConn, played 14 years in the NBA, two-time NBA All-Star, and a member of the 2011 NBA champs when he played for Dallas. So at halftime, it is 32-21. UConn is on top. Second half is on the way. You're listening to UConn men's basketball on Learfield, presented by Brown, Penderas, and Scott.
Power Station Events is the official production partner of the Yukon Huskies, the ultimate one-stop source featuring audio, video, lighting, staging, talented DJs and musicians, photography and videography, stunning decor and florals, and much more. As we celebrate our 40th anniversary, we want to thank Yukon Nation as we look forward to the next 40 years. Visit us at powerstationevents.com and let us help you plan your next awesome event.
Hey, it's Mike Monaco.
And Chrissy Monaco. You know, champions choose Monaco Ford. Just ask UConn's Alex Caravan and Ashland Shade. They count on Monaco Ford for performance, reliability, and a team that's got their back.
From the tough F-150 to the versatile Explorer and the thrilling Mustang, we've got the lineup built for winners.
Visit us in Glastonbury or Niantic today.
Or start your deal online at MonacoFord.com.
That's MonacoFord.com.
There's something new to cheer about. Introducing the exclusive M&T Bank Yukon debit and credit card collection. Pick your favorite design and pay like a champion. To open an account or upgrade your current card, visit mtb.com/Yukon or stop by an M&T Bank branch near you. M&T Bank, the official bank of Yukon. Member FDIC. Visa is a registered trademark of Visa International Service Association.
Aw, shucks. The game's on TV, but I can't listen to the call of my favorite team broadcasters.
Never fear. Sync My Game is here.
Sync My Game?
Yes, Sync My Game. If you have a DVR and streaming device, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield. It's never been easier to hear the impassioned voices of your favorite radio crew synced with the TV.
Wow, thank you, Mr.
Just remember, syncmygame.com.
This copyrighted broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by the University of Connecticut. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the expressed written consent of the University of Connecticut and Learfield. Announcers are provided by Learfield and approved by the University of Connecticut.
Back at halftime, UConn leading 32-21, just about set for the second half over Georgetown after Huskies held Georgetown at 32% shooting and only 1 of 11 from 3. So UConn here tries to get off to a good start in the second half. They did not do that last night against Xavier, but they had a huge lead of 20 that they never relinquished.
It's actually 22 late in the first half. And Mike, you were out socializing. You were not here to hear my number here, but the 21 points by Georgetown tied for the second fewest points allowed by the Huskies in the first half this year. Bryant had 21. UMass Lowell had 17. Then there was that second half for St. John's where they scored 14. That's the fewest in any half by UConn's opponents this year.
Solo Ball was not part of it in the first half. He did score 4 points in the opening 6 minutes, then got his second foul, so he's back in. Hopefully he can get back in a groove. Mullins carried the torch on offense with 15, and that's the way UConn has been all year. They have such balanced scoring. They don't really rely on one man. So let's see what happens in the second half as Georgetown made some adjustments, I'm sure, and they'll try to get back in this thing.
Do you enjoy your socializing?
I did. My son is here, his wife.
Wow.
A couple other folks from Fairfield, Connecticut, all riding a train home tonight. We'll find out if we're riding the train tonight or maybe tomorrow night.
I think Gladys Knight and the Pips sang about a midnight train to Connecticut.
That would be Georgia and to the south, but nice try. All right, Caravan to inbound the ball.
I guess you have Georgia on your mind.
Thank you, Ray Charles. Caravan inbounds the ball. He only scored 5 points in the first half. Ball out front to Reed. Now it's Mullins on the left wing, guarded by Isaiah Abraham. Now it's Demery at the hash in front of the UConn bench. They work at the right baseline, and now down low to Reed. Reed on Olaiponoa, and he is fouled as Olaiponoa pushed him from behind. And that is his third personal foul. He's got to come right out. Iwuchukwu is coming in.
Each of those 7-footers have had a double-double in the last 2 games. Iwuchukwu had it against DePaul in the first-round game, and Noah had one last night.
All right, Demery gets it into Reed at the high post. Demery picks up the pass back to Mullins. Mullins down low to Reed. Reed foul line extended handoff. Mullins baseline jumper, and a foul is called on Reed.
Yeah, moving screen on Abraham, who was picked off trying to guard Mullins, who got the shot off because of the foul. Good call.
And so it'll be Georgetown ball. Second foul for Reed. And the Hoyas will inbound the ball. They're in their road blues here tonight as the higher seed, or lower seed, coming in out of a last place finish in the Big East. Here's Isaiah Abraham on the left wing to Malik Mack, who almost traveled with it, trying to get it down low to Iwuchukwu, can't do it. Iwuchukwu is trying to draw a third foul on Reed, can't do it. Now it's in the hands of right wing of Jeremiah Williams. Williams tried to drive by ball, and he banks it up and in. Nice scoop shot by Jeremiah Williams. Georgetown gets the first bucket of the second half. 32-23, a minute gone by. Demery, front court right, being guarded by Jeremiah Williams. He gives to Mullins on the left hash. Got Isaiah Abraham in front of him. Mullins turns the corner right, and he gives it up to Ball. Ball with a crossover. Step back three by Ball. Good! Oh, that's a big one. He hadn't been playing much. He had foul trouble, and then he drills a three. And then a Georgetown player got knocked down along the Yukon bench area. I don't know if a foul was called. I have not seen a call here. But that stops play. I think it was Iwuchukwu. I don't know if he got tripped up coming up the sideline.
Well, I was thinking about what you just talked about, and I'm sure that it was addressed at halftime in the UConn locker room, how well they played in the first half last night, how poorly they started the second half. So they start the second half with a turnover, the offensive foul on Reed, and then they give up the drive to Williams that cuts it down to 32-23. At the other end, Ball stops the bleeding.
Now, here's what happened. Jeremiah Williams and Demery were tied up physically in front of the UConn bench. Williams, trying to draw a foul, took a flop. And Demery was not pushing him. He didn't shove him or anything. Now the officials have to review this to find out if that is a foul. I mean, come on. Play basketball. Stop flopping.
So the Huskies now 3 for 13 from three-point range. They've done their damage inside the arc tonight, especially Mullins.
UConn, a net rating of 9 coming in, have a 7-2 record against quad 1 teams on the season. Right now, they're projected in next week's NCAA tournament as a number 2 seed, but who knows? You win this tournament, that might change some people's minds. You know, everyone talks about the other conferences, Wayne, and how the Big Ten's so good, and the SEC and the Big 12. The ACC, today, Virginia beat Miami, the third best team in the conference, by 30 points. So Virginia and Duke are probably going to play for the championship there, but they're really the only 2 teams that are highly ranked in the ACC.
There's some greatness in the house tonight. I mean, aside from Mike Crispino. Richard Hamilton here again tonight, behind the UConn bench last night, here tonight. And from a St. John standpoint, Walter Berry is here. He played for the Johnnies
We have a double technical foul, 2 white and 25 black. It's going to be Georgetown's ball in the backcourt with 30 seconds on the shot clock.
So that's Demery and Williams.
The first foul on Demery.
Walter Berry played 84, 85, and 86 for St. John's, who was part of that Final Four team in 85 when 3 of the 4 teams in the Final Four were from the Big East.
Yeah, that was a complete flop by Williams. Terrible, terrible judgment on that double technical foul.
Class A technical foul.
Right. It hurts Georgetown more because Williams now has 2 fouls. And they get it in against full court pressure. Malik Mack hands it over to Jeremiah Williams.
First foul on Demery.
Transfer from Rutgers, Williams. Now Isaiah Abraham out front to Jeremiah. Fires it on the left side on a Caleb Williams. Caleb guarded by Caravan. Out front to Malik Mack. Down to 10 seconds to shoot. He gives to Abraham on the left wing. They go down low to Iwuchukwu and they turn it over. So Isaiah Abraham, who was all jacked up to play against his former team, has not had an impact tonight. 0 for 4, 0 for 3 from 3, and that's his first turnover.
He has not been shooting well from 3 lately, and that continues in this game.
All right, they inbound a ball to Ball, and what do we have? They say it's a turnover. Ball got his hands on it, but it was deflected off him, and so UConn turns it over on an inbound. Dan Hurley really upset.
Huskies had 10 turnovers against Xavier last night. They've already got 9 against the Hoyas.
Yeah, you got to go to the ball if you're solo ball. All right, Georgetown to our left. Inbound the ball near their own bench. They get it into Caleb Williams. Outside the arc on the right wing. He's guarded by Caravan. He hands off to Malik Mack. He's got Demery on him. Starts to his left. Back to Iwuchukwu straight away. Guarded by Reed. Hand off to Jeremiah Williams. Williams in a stop-and-go move. Kicks it across court. Malik Mack, high arcing three. No good. Back rim rebound, Demery. And Demery's done a great job rebounding tonight. He's got 6. Front court right. Demery into the paint. Pulls up. Kicks out. Mullins for 3. No good. Back rim. Iwuchukwu tried to get the rebound, and he tipped it over to Abraham. 35-23 UConn. We're 2.5 minutes in the second half. Mike Crispino and Wayne Norman. Alex Green, our engineer. On the right wing is Jeremiah Williams, front court left. They work over to the left side. It's Isaiah Abraham trying to blow by Mullins. Over Caravan, and he's able to lay it in. And it's a 10-point game, 35-25. Demery gives it to Mullins in the right front court. Back to Caravan out front. Caravan out of ball. Georgetown overplaying on defense way outside. This could give UConn some backdoor opportunities. Here's Ball, top of the arc. Looks for help. Starts around the screen of Reed. Into the paint. Can't get the shot off. Back outside of Demery. Now they're down to 3. Demery into the paint. Over Iwuchukwu. Short. Rebound Reed. And a foul has been called on Georgetown. On the rebounding action is Reed, who did not have inside position, was fouled by the Hoyas. And it's on Iwuchukwu, his third. No, let's see. It's on Williams, his third. Jeremiah Williams, that is. He'll come out of the game.
Well, he just picked up that foul of the technical earlier. And really, because both players were assigned technicals on that play, there was really, no, pardon the pun, no harm, no foul. However, they got fouls on that, and now the third foul on Williams is a factor.
All right, Mullins backdoor pass from Reed. Reed now into the paint, working on with Chukwu. Spins, kicks. Mullins for 3. Good. Great feed by Reed. Found the right man, and Mullins delivered. He's got 18 now, 2 for 7 from 3, 38-25 UConn.
And Reed's got 5 assists.
Iwuchukwu down low on a nice switch. That time he's able to catch and put it right up. So Georgetown with a quick answer, 38-27 UConn, 16:20 to go. Demery, front court right. He's on the right wing, outside the arc, guarded by him already. Turns the corner on him, into the paint. Doesn't get a shot off, gives to Reed, gets it back. Step back 3 by Demery. Good! He buried it. Silas playing in a nice flow, and UConn 41-27 the lead. 4 minutes into the second half.
He'd been just 3 of his last 16 before that open look from the top.
Crowd getting into it. Here's Caleb Williams on a handoff to Iwuchukwu. Handoff Moretti. He wants to shoot it. Being guarded by Mullins. Done a good job. They give it up to Caleb Williams on the right sideline. Moretti gets it back. Pick and roll. Iwuchukwu hammers it down. Nice bounce pass, and Georgetown able to score it. 41-29 UConn. Iwuchukwu now has 7. This is Demery, and a handoff to Mullins. Out near the timeline at the division line. Gives it up on the left sideline to Demery. Screened by Caravan. Demery starts right. Keeps his dribble. Fires it to Mullins. Mullins now down low to Reed. Reed works on Iwuchukwu. Drives with the right shoulder. Wants to spin left. Goes to his other hand. He's short. No good. Rebounded by Demery again. Gives to Caravan. Caravan 3 ball. In and out. Rebound Reed, and he's called for a foul. Dan Hurley beside himself, and that's 3 on Reed. And it gets us under 16 minutes, 15:08 to go. Iwuchukwu is flopping like a 6-foot guard, except he's 7 feet. You get the benefit of the call that time, and that's going to put Reed on the bench with 3 personals. 41-29 UConn. UConn men's basketball brought to you by JT Gamo, Hartford, and JTGamo.com. Connecticut's #1 place for Tux Rentals, custom fit suits and men's fashion. From Brown Paint, Darris, and Scott, this is UConn men's basketball on Learfield.
Husky pride is in full swing. Academic minds are hard at work and play. As a supporter of all things Husky, Travelers is proud to sponsor UConn and its exciting sports programs. From football to basketball to hockey, we're Husky all the way. Travelers in Yukon, committed to the young people who are the future of Connecticut.
Yukon fans, when it comes to sports injuries, do you know where the Huskies go?
Yukon Health, Connecticut's only public academic medical center. Our doctors advance research and train future generations of healthcare experts.
All while offering the latest injury prevention, treatment, and performance improvement.
Yukon Health. We're delivering care that changes the game for athletes and for everyone.
Learn more at yukonhealth.org.
A true teammate takes on every day with a winner's attitude, gets up when they fall down, and leaves it all on the field. There's a group of teammates who do all these things every single day. But they're more than your typical athlete. They're kids facing unthinkable medical circumstances. Team Impact matches children facing serious illness and disability with college sports teams, creating a long-term, life-changing experience for everyone involved. Join us in the movement to get all kids in the game. Visit teamimpact.org to learn more. Team Impact. All in, all together.
The Huskies live here. You're listening to play-by-play coverage of UConn men's basketball. Now, back to our Connecticut Chevy dealers broadcast location.
Coverage of the Huskies brought to you by Brown Panderas and Scott, the proud full-service law firm partner of UConn men's basketball and women's basketball. With BPS Lawyers, you get more than a lawyer. You get a full-service law firm. Lots of things going on, Wayne. Of course, the women getting set for the NCAA tournament. We'll have the selection show on Sunday. And hockey, they got a big one with BU tomorrow.
That's men's hockey against BU at Toscano. We'll have it on the network at 12:45. And the women's hockey team in what amounts to the Elite Eight. They're playing Penn State at Penn State. And the winner goes to the Frozen Four, which is at Penn State. Is there an echo in here? So a couple of big hockey games tomorrow. The UConn men and the UConn women. We talked about that slow start for UConn last night. And to be honest, they have had some issues in these first few minutes again today. Then actually, the only thing that's been going well for them is three-point shooting. They're 3 for 5 from 3 in the second half. They've outscored Georgetown 9-8 in the second half, but they got a couple of turnovers in the second half. And from a defensive standpoint, Georgetown started the second half 4 for 5.
41-29, UConn with the lead. They come out of the huddle with Ball, Ryba, Mullins, Caravan, and Demery. As Georgetown trying to win for a third straight night here in the Garden. Keep their season alive. Inbounding against full court pressure, and they do get it in to Kayvon Mulready. He's a Worcester Mass guy. He hands it over to Malik Mack, who transferred from Harvard across the timeline, right to left, gives to Mulready. He's guarded by Mullins. Now back out front, they go down low to Iwachukwu, and he's blocked by Ryba. He misses the dunk, and Iwachukwu will have to shoot two instead. So Ryba now is called for the foul. One good thing about having this center by committee that UConn has had the last few seasons, they got 10 fouls to use. And a lot of nights they use 8 or they use 9. But it's helpful to have depth at that position.
Well, Georgetown's got that. A couple of 7-footers, including one shooting free throws right now.
Iwachukwu is a flourishing big man. He's a senior now, though. From Nigeria. At St. John's, he averaged only 3 points in 34 games last year. I mean, much better this year with Georgetown. He cuts the lead to 11.
Made that free throw. He's now scored the last 5 Georgetown points.
He's got both of them. So the Hoyas cut into the UConn lead. It's 10. Caravan will inbound. Georgetown three-quarter pressure. They get it into Demery. Demery back to Caravan on the right wing. Caravan now back to Demery into the front court. Demery between the rings, straight on the basket. Zone defense by Georgetown right now. They look a little tired. Still a long way to go in this game. Here's Ball, now to Mullins, now to Demery on the right side. The cutting Caravan, floater, Caravan no good. Tips it no good, and rebounded by Georgetown. Caleb Williams. They got the shot they wanted, just didn't connect. Here comes Georgetown. Mack on a drive, and he missed the layup. It's rebounded by Mullins, who sprints to the front court. Pulls up top of the key. Fires to Demery. Ball on the right wing for 3. In and out. Rebounded by Mack on a breakout with Chukwu. And it's stolen by Mullins. They knocked it off Iwuchukwu, it looked like, but it's going to be Georgetown ball. What hustle by Mullins that time. That was a dunk waiting to happen. He came from way back to knock the ball off of Iwuchukwu. And it looks like it's going to be Georgetown ball. All right, Ross comes in for ball.
Remember, this is Georgetown's third game in 3 nights. Huskies just played last night.
But it is the first back-to-back, right? The UConn's played all year, I think. This is Mack on the baseline. Step-back jumper over Demery's good. And Georgetown has cut the lead now to 8. 41-33. Long way to go. 14 minutes left. Here's Caravan.
6-0 run for the Hoyas.
Back to Demery, front court, right on the left sideline. And Demery starts to his right. He's guarded by Malik Mack. They're back to a man-to-man defense. They give it to Caravan. Now Mullins. Mullins on the left wing. Gives to Ryba at the high post right. The handoff Demery. Demery into the paint. 15-footer straight on. He knocks it down. That's a good shot. They needed it. Ryba set him up. UConn back up by 10, 43-33, and Demery's got 5.
Biggs have combined for 7 assists.
Here's Georgetown, front court left. Iwuchukwu out in the perimeter. Already on the right sideline to the cutting Mack all the way to the basket, who lays it up and in. So Georgetown now getting the flow to their offense. 5 for 7 in the second half. UConn 4 for 10. They're starting to find little cracks in the UConn defense. 43-35. Here's Demery in the right wing to Mullins. Now down in the near corner to Ryba. Now Caravan in the right corner. Back out front to Demery. Demery starts right on the screen. Into the paint, being pushed, being shoved. And finally, he takes a knee and he goes down as a foul is called on Caleb Williams. Finally, somebody blows a whistle. That was the third time he was fouled on the sequence. Once. I'm looking at the replay. Twice, finally, he gets a knee. That's 3 times.
This is the Silas Demery that I like to see. We didn't see this aggressiveness from him last night, but he's been continually in this game putting the ball on the floor, that time driving across the lane from right to left.
The inbound ball to Ross, back out front to Ryba. Now it's Mullins on the left wing. Stop and go against Iwuchukwu. He lost it. He chips it back out to Ross. They have 10 to shoot. Demery, the right wing. Georgetown really upping the defensive intensity. Demery backs away, and I try to drive by his man. Open man is Ross in the corner for 3, and he hit it. Oh, that's big. Jaden Ross with a triple as the shot clock was winding down. And boy, what a valuable guy he has become in the last couple weeks. UConn back up by 11, 46-35, 12-12 to go.
Great kick out by Demery.
Here's Iwuchukwu, top of the key. Gives to Mulready. He's being guarded by Ross. Fires it right to Mack. He's feeling good. Down to Iwuchukwu. Working on Ryba. Puts up a wild shot. He missed it. Rebound Caravan. Caravan, outlet Demery, sprinting to the front court right. Pulls him on the right wing. Mack tries to guard him, and he stops him and blocks him. And a foul is called. That's the 5th on Georgetown now with just under 12 minutes to go. 5th team foul. UConn leading 46-35, and we'll take the timeout. How'd you like to be able to listen to us while synced up to your TV in the comfort of your own home? And that's key. You got to synced up because there's a time delay between TV and our radio broadcast. So go to syncmygame.com. Sync My Game, SYNCmygame.com to find out how. 10 seconds for station ID. Then these messages presented by Brown Paint Harrison Scott. This is UConn Men's Hoop on Learfield.
Mike Rowe here with a random fact. More than half of the homes that have basements in North America will experience water damage. It's true. Whether it's basement moisture, flooding, or bowing walls, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys. They're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to waterproof your basement and stabilize your walls.
Groundworks, preferred foundation repair company of Yukon Athletics.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
The Huskies live here. This is the Yukon Sports Network from Learfield.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
When I met both of them, it was like my missing pieces were found. Like it was just like an instant, these are my kids. If you're considering adopting a teen, just do it. Kids need families. I don't care the age, everybody deserves a family.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. A message brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
My name is Teresa Barber. I was in the United States Navy, and I served overseas in the Middle East and Africa. Early on in my career, I had a commander that taught our suicide prevention training, and the very next day, he took his own life. 90% of suicide attempts involving a gun are fatal. My way of continuing my service is to help protect my community by being a responsible gun owner and by storing firearms safely. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
Husky Hoops brought to you in part by UConn Health. We're delivering care that changes the game for Husky athletes and everyone. Mike Crispino, Wayne Norman here, and our engineer Alex Green as well from our Connecticut Chevy Dealers broadcast location. At the Big East Tournament semifinals, UConn and Georgetown. Huskies leading by 11. These two schools are tied with the regular season championships and in Big East Tournament championships. So just trying to stay alive and maybe break a record. Become the all-time leader in championships in this tournament and this conference.
Well, the Connecticut Chevy Dealers broadcast booth, we need a Chevy truck to get up here to the 8th floor at the Garden. And just little inside radio stuff that, like last night after the game, I was on the court interviewing Solo Ball. Well, you probably as a listener may not have noticed it, but I had to leave with 3 minutes to go in the second half to get down there. And I got down there with about 30 seconds to spare. Solo was great. We got on our post-game show, but we always get a player after the game, after a UConn win. I'll, of course, get Dan Hurley, win or lose. But today, with about 3 minutes to go, I got to do it again. Find me one of those Chevy trucks and get down courtside because we're way up here. I think we're closer to the roof at the Garden than we are to the floor.
Maybe. No, we're about midway up. The refurbished Garden over the last several years.
It's like the fourth Garden, isn't it? Madison Square Garden?
No, I don't think
it's not a Madison Square.
All right, Malachi Smith back in the game. Has it out at the perimeter, gives it right to Mullins. Mullins steps back, can't get a three off. He goes down low to Ryba. Backdoor cut Mullins. Mullins try to bank it up, no good. Rebound Georgetown.
What a great setup by Ryba.
No doubt. Here's Mack in the front court, picked up by Caravan. Interesting little matchup. His ball gets set to check back in. A foul is called on Malachi Smith. And that is second on him, the fifth on the Huskies. Both teams with 5 fouls.
Crazy shooting in the second half for UConn. 4 for 7 from three-point range, 1 of 5 from two-point range. And they just missed a two-pointer there.
All right, they inbound to Mack. Mack out at the Big East Tournament logo center court, guarded by Jaden Ross. Dribbles over toward the right sideline, looking for help. Now he starts around the corner on Ross, all the way to the basket. He misses the shot. It's loose. Ross got the rebound. And he outlets to Malachi Smith. Mack on the day, 3 for 8. Here's Smith between the rings. 11 minutes to go in the ball game. UConn by 11. Here's Caravan for 3. No good, in and out. Rebound Iwuchukwu. So Caravan, 1 for 4, 1 for 5 from 3 now. Mulready in the front court left. Fires in the far corner. Malik Mack tries to blow by Malachi Smith into the paint. Hangs in the air. Got his own rebound and put it in. Wow. Huskies stuffed him, and then he got the rebound, the little man, and put it in. 46-37. UConn. Mack's got 8. Malachi Smith between the rings. He's guarded by Mack. He gives it up to Ross on the left wing. Ross now back to Malachi on the left sideline where Dan Hurley is now. He spins it right off a screen by Ryba on a pick and roll. Keeps a right-hand dribble. Gives the ball. Ball starts to his right. Baseline jumper by Solo. Airballed it. Rebound Iwuchukwu. And here come Georgetown. They're down by 9 with 10 minutes to go. Mulready fires it cross court in the hands of Mack. He's got Ross guarding him. Gives to Iwuchukwu. Takes a handoff back on the left wing. Mack looking to pick and roll it. Fires it right instead to Jeremiah Williams. Step back by Jeremiah Williams. In and out. And the rebound. Who got it? Ryba tracked it down. He gives to Caravan. UConn 27-20 advantage on the board so far tonight.
Hoyas outscoring UConn in the second half by 2, 16-14.
Here's Malachi Smith, top of the arc. Starts to his left. He gives it to Ball. Gets it back. Drives inside. Hands to Ryba, and Ryba dunks it home. What a fade by Malachi. UConn's 16th assist on the night. And they lead at 48-37. That's what you got to have. Little penetration from your guards, and the big men will finish. Here's Malik Mack, front court left, and a handoff to Mulready. Mulready gives it up left side to Caleb Williams on the sideline at the hash. Caravan in front of him. Out front on a bounce to Mack. With Ball there. Here's Mulready. Can't get a shot off. Goes pick and roll. Left-hander, three-pointer. Good. Caleb Williams hits. And it's 48-37. UConn with 8:50 to go. And Caleb Williams hits. That's his first bucket. Here's Ball on the right sideline. Front court right. Fires it outside of Malachi Smith. He starts left up a screen by Ryba. Ryba with a handoff. They're daring him to shoot it. He does shoot it. In and out. But a foul is called down low, and it's against Georgetown. Well, I'll tell you, we haven't seen Ryba try that very much, but he's a pretty good shooter from there. UConn doesn't do much of that. That one went in and out, but a foul was called on the interior. And Reed will come in. That is the 6th team foul, and that one is on Mulready. He's got 2.
His last made three-pointer was in the Big East opener against Butler on December 21st. He's only taken 1 3-point shot since that time. That was also against Butler in the second meeting.
Yeah, we see him in practice quite a bit shoot it, and he shoots it well. That could be something next year that be added to the UConn offense. Malachi gets it into Reed, who just returned. He hands off to Demery. Demery tried to turn the corner. Mulready is just basically beating him up. They get it back to Reed. Now it's Ball. Ball inside the paint. Stop and go move. Threw it away. Rebound by Georgetown. Now it's Jeremiah Williams on a pick and roll to Halifa Noah. He gets it up in the corner to Mulready, who missed the shot. Would have been a 3. Would have got the lead to 5. 48-40 UConn. 8 minutes to go. This is Demery attacking inside along the baseline. He backs away in front of the UConn bench to our left. Reed working down low, trying to get position. Halifa Noah guards him. Demery does get it down to Reed on the baseline. He fires it cross court. It's Ross for 3. And he knocks it down. Jaden Ross with confidence. And the Huskies lead it again, 51-40. Ross has got 8 in 18 minutes. And a timeout call by Ed Cooley.
And that equals Terrace Reed Jr.'s career high in assists with 7.
The Huskies with 17 assists in the game and leading again, 51-40. 7:30 to go at the timeout. Our broadcast booth sponsor this season, Connecticut Chevy Dealers, home to a century of truck capability, featuring America's most dependable trucks. Visit your local Connecticut Chevy dealer today.
You can hear the UConn Stores South crowd with that UConn Huskies chant at the Garden.
All right, from Brown Paint, Darris and Scott, this is UConn men's basketball. Huskies by 11, 7.5 to go on Learfield.
Power Station Events is the official production partner of the UConn Huskies, the ultimate one-stop source featuring audio, video, lighting, staging, talented DJs and musicians, photography and videography, stunning decor and florals, and much more. As we celebrate our 40th anniversary, we want to thank UConn Nation as we look forward to the next 40 years. Visit us at powerstationevents.com and let us help you plan your next awesome event.
At Dime Bank, we're all about community. As one of the area's leading commercial lenders, we place a priority on helping local business owners build and grow their businesses, big or small. Because our lenders live and work in the markets we serve, our homegrown expertise can help create opportunities for local businesses to thrive. If your current banking relationship is leaving you wanting more, come join our community. It's your bank, your choice, your dime.
Dime Bank. Community banking lives here. Member FDIC.
Hey,
Hey, it's Mike Monaco.
And Chrissy Monaco. You know, champions choose Monaco Ford. Just ask UConn's Alex Caravan and Ashlyn Shade. They count on Monaco Ford for performance, reliability, and a team that's got their back.
From the tough F-150 to the versatile Explorer and the thrilling Mustang, we've got the lineup built for winners.
Visit us in Glastonbury or Niantic today.
Or start your deal online at MonacoFord.com.
That's MonacoFord.com.
This is Yukon men's basketball. Now back to our Connecticut Chevy dealers broadcast location.
Yukon basketball action sponsored by Orthopedic Associates of Hartford. Make your move. Connect with the top orthopedic specialists at oahct.com. Along with Wayne Norman, Mike Crispino, and the Huskies leading 51-40. And Wayne, 7 threes here tonight for Yukon. And they were double-figure three-point makes last night against Xavier. But Xavier's different. They're not quite the defensive team that this Georgetown team is.
Yeah, they're the worst three-point defense team in the Big East. Huskies have gone 4 straight games without hitting double figures in three-pointers made after having 5 out of 6 games with double figures in three-pointers made. In the first half, Alex Caravan had one of those. He's still one shy of Rashad Anderson for the career three-point made list, and Alex is 0 for 3 from the floor in the second half. He had all 5 of his points in the first half. But in this game, he takes over the UConn school record in games played, now with 144, breaking the record he held with Shabazz Napier. And earlier, he passed Shabazz on the career minutes list, dropping him to number 2. Meanwhile, Terrace Reed has the best plus-minus on the team so far. He's plus 19. He's done a lot of things well for UConn. He's only got the 4 points, but he has 6 rebounds, equaling a career high with 7 assists.
Now here's Georgetown, front court right, and they kick it on the right wing to Mulready. He gets it back. They switch. Malachi Smith's guarding Mulready. He drives inside, kicks it down on the baseline to Halifa Noah, and he's able to put a little runner up. And the Hoyas score it. 51-42 UConn, 7 minutes to go. Demery, front court, 9 of 16 by Georgetown in the second half. That's 58%. Here's Mullins down low to Reed, baseline left. Faces up on Halifa Noah. Digs the left shoulder and wants to work him. He does. He spins, goes to the left hand, and banks it in. That was no contest. The big man going to work. And Reed's got 6. 53-42. UConn. Jeremiah Williams, guarded by Demery, starts to his right, tries to turn the corner. He does. Stopped there by Ross. Nowhere to go, and he threw it away. Jaden Ross, give him credit for help defense for Demery. And then a turnover by Georgetown.
They've got 9 now, but only 2 in the second half. And one of the keys to keeping things close the first 2 times he's played, they took care of the ball. Well, they've done a pretty good job here in the second half with only those 2 second-half turnovers.
9 overall. From quality outdoor structures to custom handcrafted furniture, Cloder Farms, your destination for home and yard. We're worth the ride. Route 83 in Ellington. So the under 8-minute timeout comes at 6:31 from Brown, Penderas, and Scott. Huskies lead by 11. This is UConn men's basketball on Learfield.
Is your retirement game plan a well-executed play or just a Hail Mary? I'm Eric Hogarth, certified financial planner at Johnson Brunetti. As the official wealth management sponsor of the Yukon Huskies, we've helped over 7,000 families navigate and thrive in retirement. Level up your financial playbook by visiting johnsonbrunetti.com for free financial planning resources. Johnson Brunetti Retirement, your financial playmaker. Johnson Brunetti is a marketing name for the businesses of JB Capital and JN Financial. Investment advisory services offered through JB Capital, LLC. Insurance products offered through JN Financial, LLC.
From the Berkshires to the Long Island Sound, this is the Yukon Sports Network from Learfield.
This message is for Shauna, my mom, who just finished her high school diploma. I wanted to say I'm so proud of you for finishing school. You told me it's never too late to achieve your dreams. I hope to make you as proud as you have made me.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Don't act like that. Don't wear that. Don't think that. I've heard everything you tell yourself every time you felt different. And I want you to know that you can be vulnerable and powerful. That taking care of your mind is taking care of everyone you love and who loves you. Love your mind.
So
Find mental health resources at loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
UConn basketball sponsored by New Face Home Improvements, locally trusted for any roofing, siding, windows, doors, or bathroom upgrades. Your home is like our home. Mike Crispino and Wayne Norman. We're making Madison Square Garden home, at least for the last two nights, here in our Connecticut Chevy Dealers broadcast location. UConn holding to an 11-point advantage, 53-42. Despite they're shooting about 46%, a little below their average. And Georgetown getting hot here in the second half, 9 of 16.
And they're up to 41% shooting. It's 21-21 after halftime. So much like last night, UConn took advantage of a strong first half, and they just kind of been treading water in the second half with Georgetown. As you listen to Mike Crispino's brilliant calls here on the UConn Sports Network, in the background, like right now, the voice you hear in the public address here at Madison Square Garden today is John Dolan. People who go to the Big East Women's Tournament and Connecticut Sun games at Mohegan Sun Arena, probably well known for the redhead, John Dolan, who got called in to do this doubleheader today. He flew in from Boston. He did not do yesterday's games, and he's going back tomorrow to go back to Boston. But he's doing these games today. Good to see John again.
All right, the Huskies front court. Demery to our right near their own bench. Guarded by Malik Mack. And a foul away from the ball. Mullins is on the ground, face first. Mulready must have fouled him. I didn't see it. It was out of the corner of my eye down there, away from the ball. Oh, yeah. He roughed him up, knocked him down. That's 3 on Mulready. And now you put Mullins on the free throw line.
And we have 6 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the second half. This is UConn's first free throw of the night.
Georgetown 4 of 5. They haven't actually been living on the free throw line as Mullins makes the first.
Well, you touched earlier in the game about how these games a lot of times will be determined by how closely they call games. And to be honest, the fact there's so few free throws tells me they're letting them play tonight.
UConn has 5 team fouls. And now Georgetown double bonus with 7 team fouls. Single bonus, 7 team fouls. Mullins solid at the line. 2 for 2. He's got 20.
He's made his last 10 free throws.
The Huskies with the lead, 55-42. Georgetown's got to be careful here. 6:10 to go. UConn up 13. Halifanoa, high post, guarded by Reed. Back out front. Jeremiah Williams starts to his left. It's guarded by Demery. Back to his right. Wants to shoot it. Can't get it off. Dumps it down low to Halifanoa. On Reed. Puts it up. No good. And a foul is called. That's going to be 4 on Reed. It wasn't much there at all. And now Ryba's got to come in here.
Let me tell you how things work on these post-game interviews. They generally give the high score of the game to television, and the home radio, that's us, they give maybe the second leading score. Well, last night, Terrace Reed Jr. had the double-double, did TV, and I got solo ball, who was UConn's leading scorer. Well, obviously, Braylon Mullins is going to be a popular guest. Now, they did him at halftime on TV today, but that's the guy I want when I go down courtside in a couple of minutes here today, but I suspect he might go to the bench. So maybe this is the night we get Terrace Reed Jr., who leaves the game now with his 4th foul. But Mullins only has 5 of his 20 points in the second half, but he's the only Husky in double figures. He's had 20 of UConn's 55 points.
All right, long way to go, though. 5:58. Halifanoa made the first one as it rolled in off the rim. The second one good, too. Georgetown back within 11, 55-44. Isaiah Abraham will replace Mulready. UConn has really controlled him. He only has 3 points, 1 basket. Full court pressure. Ross looking to get it in. He does get it into Mullins. They double him. Malachi ahead to Jaden Ross. And now Malachi takes a handoff and across the timeline to the right front court. Smith lines him up. 5:46 to go. Left hash. Starts back to his right. Fires it left to Ross. Now on the left sideline, it's Mullins. Long 3. No good off the left side. And the ball is knocked out of bounds by Georgetown. They had the rebound and couldn't control it. And that hurts. They would have had a possession. Caleb Williams just fumbled it out of bounds.
Talk about the officials letting them play. Well, in the back court, when UConn had that possession, Ed Cooley was 5 feet onto the court, shy of the midcourt line. I don't think you're supposed to do that.
I don't
Mike.
think that's allowed. All right, Mullins looking inbound, gets it to Ryba, takes a handoff back, curls around Ryba, fires down to Ryba for a dunk. Great look by Braylon Mullins. And UConn extends their lead to 57-44. Ryba now with 6. He and Reed together have 12. Here's Halifano on a hand up to Isaiah Abraham and a weave to Jeremiah Williams. Stop and go. Attacks. Off balance. Shot no good. And another foul called. This time Ryba knocks down Halifano. I've never seen so many big guys flopping as I've seen tonight. I mean, if you're a big man at 7 foot, you shouldn't be falling on the ground every time.
Well, let's get honest here. That's something Dan Hurley talked to us about last night. He says Terrace Reed drops to the ground too much. He said to us last night outside the elevator shaft, he said that Klingon and Snogo never did that for us. He wants Reed to do a better job staying on his feet. Right now he's got a seat on the bench.
Lifano's free throw's good. Now this is what you don't want. 3 fouls now on Ryba, 4 on Reed. So this is getting dangerous for the bigs. They've used up 7 of their 10 fouls.
Ryba 3 for 4 this game. He's 37 of his last 48, over 75% shooting.
Lifano makes both. So 57-46 with 5:08 to go.
Well, just the way that Coach Hurley kind of complained to me in our postgame interview last night about that bad start to the second half last night. They shot better in the second half. They're 46% for the game, but there's been some uneven play in the second half by his Huskies.
Well, they're back-to-back nights. Haven't played like back-to-back all year. Here's Demery on the right sideline front court, being hounded by Jeremiah Williams. Turns the corner on him, doesn't shoot it. He's looking for Caravan. He gets it to Alex. Alex spins, gives to Ryba, lays it in. Great work by the Huskies. Bounce pass assist for Caravan. And that's his second, and Ryba now has 8.
You get touches for Ryba, it's good for 2 points.
No doubt. A lot of layups. Here's Moretti on a drive, and he's blocked by Caravan. Saved by Mullins, and he hands to Demery. Huskies by 13, 4.5 to go. Demery walks it to the front court. UConn now 10 of 20 in the second half. They'll take their time here.
This place is pretty quiet right now.
It really is. Here's Ryba out front, top of the three-point arc. Down low to the cutting Caravan. They turn it over. And Mack has it. He sprints to the front court. Into the paint. Goes to a floater. And Iwuchukwu try to throw it up there. I hope that's not on Ryba. I think it's on Demery. It's on Demery. And that is his second. Georgetown can run the floor pretty well. And Iwuchukwu is a big that can run it. Again, he's flopping down. I don't know. If you're an NBA scout, you're looking at all these big 7-footers. You don't want them on the ground because guess what? The other team's going to sprint up the court, knock down a 3, and the game is going to get out of hand.
Georgetown 5th in the Big East in fast break points, averaging 12 a game. They have 2 fast break points in this game.
Iwuchukwu makes the free throw. Yeah, UConn, I just looked at that. They're 9-2 in fast break points, and they don't usually win that category. The Huskies have 6 blocks.
Well, they ran a lot in the first half, especially Mullins. Mullins finished off a couple of those, including one transition 3 that he hit. But this is a fast break opportunity here, these free throws.
2 free throws by Iwuchukwu. He comes out. Halapanoa comes in. Ed Cooley almost going offense to defense substitutions, which is a little bit strange for your big men.
27-27 in the second half.
Caravan looking to get it in, and he has to call a timeout. Well, UConn uses one up. They had 3. Now they have 2. And they'll use that as the media timeout. At 4:05 to go, we'll take the timeout. Stay with us after the game. The Hart Auto Group postgame show highlights Dan Hurley's postgame interview. Stats and scores courtesy of the Hart Auto Group, a proud sponsor of UConn Athletics, bringing you championship deals every day. You got to drive Hart. Shop in-store or online at hartcars.com. Huskies 59. Georgetown 48, 4:05 to go from Brown, Penderas, and Scott. This is UConn men's basketball on Learfield.
There's something new to cheer about. Introducing the exclusive M&T Bank Yukon debit and credit card collection. Pick your favorite design and pay like a champion. To open an account or upgrade your current card, visit mtb.com/Yukon or stop by an M&T Bank branch near you. M&T Bank, the official bank of Yukon. Member FDIC. Visa is a registered trademark of Visa International Service Association.
When you're on the move and looking for nonstop college sports action, get the Varsity Network app and take the game with you everywhere. Stream live play-by-play from schools across the country right from your phone, free. Catch hundreds of weekly podcasts, including shows from your favorite teams, all in one place. From football Saturdays to midweek hoops, it's your all-access pass to the college sports world. Whether it's game day or just your daily drive, the Varsity Network app has you covered. Download now and listen live for free on the Varsity Network app.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup for the top college athletic programs for the 2025-26 college athletics season? Check out the criteria and follow the year-long standings of your favorite team at L Directors Cup on the X platform or online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2026 to the winning institutions in all college sports divisions. The Learfield Directors Cup, powered by NACDA, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
The Yukon Huskies are on the air. Now back to our Connecticut Chevy Dealers broadcast location.
Mike Crispino, Wayne Norman here with engineer Alex Green in the Connecticut Chevy Dealers broadcast location. Yukon leading 59-48 with 4:05 to go. They've made 5 of their last 6 field goals. Georgetown's been keeping pace mostly from the free throw line. They have not scored a field goal, the Hoyas, in over 3 minutes. And so Yukon has held Georgetown under 40% shooting, and particularly from 3, where the Hoyas are 2 for 14. They've only attempted 3 threes, Wayne, in the second half, and you would think they're going to have to start throwing some up to kind of make up some points here.
Well, I'm also intrigued by the fact that UConn's only taken 2 free throws. I looked it up, and the season low they've had so far has been 3 for 7 at Creighton. Last year, they were 2 for 4 from the line at Villanova, and that was the game UConn lost by 2, and Alex Caraban, who is a solid free throw shooter, went 0 for 2 in the final minute, would have tied the game. So in that game, they only went to the line 4 times, and those were the 2 misses. But right now, 2 made free throws by UConn in this game, equaling that 2 they made as a season low last year at Villanova. That's how few times UConn has gone to the line tonight.
Yeah, they inbound to Demery. They double him in the corner. He gets it to Caraban. Caraban gives it back to Demery. He walks it up the court. Well, part of that is UConn penetrating, with guards that get fouled. They don't have much of that. And maybe it's a little bit of Georgetown not committing too many fouls, at least in this game. All right, Demery front court left. Crossover move. Free throw line. Jumper good. I'll tell you what, Silas Demery is a scorer if he wants to be. He's got 7 now. 61-48. He made that look easy. Here's Jeremiah Williams out front to Mulready. Mulready backs away from Ross's defense, and he hands it over to Caleb Williams. Williams in the paint, and a foul is called. One thing Georgetown has done a good job of is forcing contact and getting whistles. It was just, to me, Caleb Williams just chucked it up there. He really had no prayer making it. And who's the foul on? I think it's on Ryba. Now he's got 4.
So Reed and Ryba both have 4 fouls.
So now Dan Hurley's got a decision. He's going to leave Ryba in there. And a free throw no good by Caleb Williams. So Georgetown now 10 of 12. So they've outscored UConn by 8 on the free throw line.
So Ryba does come out. Reed comes in with his career high equaling 7 assists in this game. I think Ryba's got 2.
Reed comes back in. So Reed with 6 rebounds, 7 assists. What a line he's got. 6 points. A couple of turnovers in 21 minutes. Ryba's played a lot of minutes tonight. 16. Second free throw, no good. Demery got the rebound. So Georgetown, which had been near perfect at the line, not so much then. Here's Demery, front court right on the right sideline, being hounded by Malik Mack. Keeps the dribble. 15 to shoot. He's on the left wing outside the arc. Gives it to Caraban. Caraban in the paint.
Jump hook goes in. 63-48. What a pass by Reed that time. Under 3 minutes to go. This is Jeremiah Williams on the right hash attacking the paint. And a foul is called on Iwachukwu. He tripped Emery as he set him a screen. And Ed Cooley is right where you were talking about, Wayne. He's about 10 feet out on the court arguing about that and not getting any attention from the officials.
Well, with a 15-point lead with 2:45 to go, and by the way, I'm heading downstairs for those of you keeping score on that, but it sets up the 1 versus 2 matchup tomorrow night. 2 distinctly different games between those teams this year, including that embarrassing performance by St. John's and Hartford in the second meeting.
And the Johnnies won the first one here at the Garden with a strong last 5 minutes. It was a tie game. Here's Demery, front court right. Ball's back in the game. Silas starts to his left, gives it up to Ball. Ball into the paint, goes to the basket, tried a right-hand layup, missed it. And Iwachukwu came up with it. He hands it over to Jeremiah Williams, can't get a shot off. Reed is out there on defense at the perimeter, and a foul away from the ball as Iwachukwu elbowed Braylon Mullins on the chops. And he is called for the foul, and that's going to put Mullins on the line, I believe. Let's see what it was. Yeah, it was a foul on Iwachukwu. They're going to take a look at that because it was a high elbow, and he caught Mullins up high. So let's see what they come up with. Right now it'll be Yukon possession. It's the 9th team foul on Georgetown. So got to believe that would be a one-and-one opportunity for Mullins, I think. Anyway, they review it. UConn, they can hang on here in the last 2:13 with a 15-point lead. We'll have the championship bout tomorrow night with St. John's. A 6:30 start, I believe. Pre-game would be at 6. The Huskies on the night, 48% from the field, 32% from 3, 7 of 22. They've outscored Georgetown from distance by 15 points. They've been outscored on the free throw line by 8.
After review, the common foul was upgraded to a flagrant 1 foul. 24 White will shoot 2 shots, and the ball will be in the backcourt.
All right, so it's a flagrant foul on Iwachukwu. Flagrant 1. And that means Mullins will go to the line to shoot 2. Some of the crowd who was here for the St. John's games has begun to exit the Garden. Stay tuned. The Hard Auto Group postgame show coming up right after this. Well, Mullins will go to the line. He's got 20. His career high is 25. And he came to play the game of basketball tonight. Not too worried about three-point shooting, even though he went 2 for 8. He was able to make 6 other baskets. And now the man who's been the only Husky to shoot free throws tonight goes on the line. There's nobody there. This is always an odd feeling, I think. These technical free throws, and UConn will have possession after this. Mullins all by himself and the world's most famous, and he knocks down the first one. 21 for Braylon. And UConn leading 64-48. Good sign, though, to see Mullins scoring again. He's been struggling a little bit. 18 of his last 47. He misses the second free throw. But in the last 6 games, Mullins was shooting 38%. So to go 8 for 16, that is a positive sign. Huskies will have the inbound to our left. It'll be Caravan. Full court pressure by the Hoyas. They get it to Demery. They double him in the corner. Demery ahead to Ball. Ball to the front court to our right. Down to the 2-minute mark. Ball on the right sideline. Crossing over, and he hands it over to Demery. Demery being hounded by Jeremiah Williams, and he gives it up to Mullins straight away outside the arc. Now Reed at the high post to the left. Back to Mullins. Turns and fires a 3. Mullins no good. Reed chased it down. Great rebound. Mullins now to Demery for 3. Demery got it. By 19, timeout by the Hoyas. UConn in the second half has outscored Georgetown now 35-27, an 8-0 run in the last 2:03. The Huskies have made 5 of their last 7. while Georgetown has not scored in 2 minutes and 26 seconds. So for all intents and purposes, after the next minute 39, UConn will be back here tomorrow night to try to win a championship. And they'll take on the defending Big East tournament champs, St. John's, and the defending regular season champs, St. John's. And the Red Storm has beaten UConn 3 straight times in this building. They won last 2 years ago. They won in the tournament and then were able to win in the regular season this year. And the last title for the Huskies here was 2024. They beat Marquette 73-57. So it'll be St. John's tomorrow after the last minute 39 of this one. Mullins, the big story, 21 tonight, 8 of 17 shooting, 5 rebounds, a couple of assists, and 10 by Silas Demery, who knocked down 2 threes as well. He had 9 rebounds. He's 1 rebound away from a double-double. And Terrace Reed, the big man, with 8 assists, career high in that category. So Malachi Smith will. And he will play with Jaden Ross, solo ball. Alec Millender comes. And Georgetown will inbound the ball to our right. Kayvon Mulready gives it up to Jeremiah Williams. Now out front is Caleb Williams. They work the perimeter to Malik Mack on the right sideline. They get a 3 by Caleb Williams. In and out. No good. Batted around. Malachi Smith chases it down. And it's George. He's the last team to touch it. So it'll be Georgetown inbound on the left sideline. They get Jacob Furphy in the game. The Huskies in the last minute of 22. He comes in for solo ball. Ball leaves with 7 points. Only played 17 minutes. He should be fresh tomorrow night. And it'll be Jeremiah Williams inbound on the left sideline. And he gets it into Malik Mack, who drives inside on Ryban. They call a foul on Ryban. He's out of the game. That's his 5th. So Dan Hurley's got to go to the bench here. I don't know what he's going to do. It's Ryba's 5th on a touch foul about 15 feet from the basket. And Dwayne Karoma will come in with a minute 21 to go. So Ryba, an excellent night overall. 8 points, couple rebounds, had an assist, but he fouls out tonight. And he and Reed hugging. So Dwayne Karoma will come in the ball game. Minute 20 to go, and UConn leading by 19, 67-48. St. John's a 10-point winner over Seton Hall earlier. 5:30 start. And Mack puts the free throw in, 67-49. Malik Mack, and now with 8 points, he had 5 rebounds, only 1 assist. Georgetown had 10 assists, 11 turnovers in this one. Alaifa Noah leaves, the sophomore center. He'll be back. And a rebound by Caleb Williams. He gets it to Jeremiah Williams, who shoots it over Millender. It's an air ball, and Georgetown steps on the baseline with a minute 14 to go. UConn basketball. Huskies inbound to Malachi Smith across the timeline. Malachi hands to Alec Millender. Dan Hurley calls a play. Still lots of time, a minute to go, so they're going to have to try something here, I would believe. As Paunovic gets set to check in. Here's Millender, left wing, nowhere to go. Gives it up to Ross. Ross on the left wing outside the arc. They're down to 3. He's got to shoot it. Ross back rim, no good. And rebounded by Karoma. It's loose. And who has it? Georgetown comes up with it. Caleb Williams into the front court. Into the paint, Williams puts up a floater and hits from about 6 feet away. 67-51 with 32 seconds left. Millender will walk it across the timeline. I don't think UConn will take another shot in this one. And the Huskies advance to the championship game. First time in the last 3 years. 2024, they won it here and then went on to win a national championship. Millender will probably take the violation. It'll be called a turnover by UConn. And there it is. So with 1.9 seconds left, Jaden Ross comes off the court. Big night for him. 8 points, couple rebounds, knocked down a couple threes.
Ross comes off the court. Big night for him. 8 points, couple rebounds, knocked down a couple threes. And so Georgetown will inbound it for the final time, and their season will end here tonight. Ed Cooley will drop to 4-14 against UConn in his career. 67-51 will be the final. UConn moves on to the championship game against St. John's. They'll play tomorrow night at 6:30. Stay tuned. The Heart of the Group post-game show is coming up. After this, from Brown Paint, Harrison Scott, this is UConn men's basketball on Learfield.
UConn fans, when it comes to sports injuries, do you know where the Huskies go?
UConn Health, Connecticut's only public academic medical center. Our doctors advance research and train future generations of healthcare experts.
All while offering the latest injury prevention, treatment, and performance improvement.
UConn Health, we're delivering care that changes the game.